What's going on? What's going on? All right, you know what time it is. You know what rhyme it is. I'm your gracious host, A6, live and direct, live in effect. And we came to chop up some game on this lovely Sunday night. On the East Coast, it's 9 p.m., of course. And we got a few people in here now. What's going on, Jimmy? What's up with you, man? Good to see you here. What's up, Chris? I got your email, man. Sorry about the delay. If y'all ever send me any emails or anything, it takes me a while to get back. Yo, I'll literally be running around like a chicken trying to get caught or whatever. So I'll be really literally just getting it in. So sometimes I see them and I read them and I mean to respond, but I don't till later. If I don't respond, don't take it personal. Nobody. What's good, Nico? What's up with you, man? Yes, sir. The intro tune. Yes, sir. Absolutely. That's fair use right there. What's going on, Fearless Floyd? What's up with you, man? I got a chance to check out your last video. I only got about you sent it to me in your email. I got about like 15 minutes way through it, but I was running around. So I mean, y'all send me stuff. If I can't listen to it on the move, or if I'm in a circumstance where I can't listen to it at all on the move, it's not gonna get all the way heard until like I really get a chance to settle down. What's going on, Bailey? What's up with you? Chilling. And Cornell, what's good with you, man? How you feeling? All right, so we all know this was a holiday weekend for those who do celebrate it. I got it with fam pretty much. You know, they mostly celebrate it. I don't myself, but fam and everything, kiddos, all that stuff. So you gotta kind of like simulate to a certain degree. But we all know what the real meaning behind all that stuff really is. But it is what it is. Good time to get with family. Very interesting situation happened with my family, which I won't speak on. But let's just say sometimes family can be very difficult to deal with. No matter how long you know them or how cool y'all can get along, sometimes it's just issues. But that's any normal family, I suppose. But part of the game, I suppose. You know what I mean? Chris said, no problem. I do thank you. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. All right. So, I really didn't do too much, of course. We did the usual thing, the gathering, the dinner, all that stuff. And, had a little bit of fun, got some drinks, played a game. That was pretty much it for me. Came home today, got a chance to relax. I did run into a lot of stuff this week, which we're going to go over, as usual in the normal format, which we do. So let's get into it without further ado, shall we? As you can see, the camera is the quality is a little better on the camera. I did manage to get a Logitech camera over the holidays, so that works out because people was complaining about the camera quality, so that works out. That works out in the end. All right, take a look at this right here. I saw this on Instagram, and this is interesting. How do you guys feel about something like this? Take a look and listen.
This is an electric modular autonomous vehicle, developed by an Italian company. According to the idea, it can be summoned through a mobile app. Following a given route, the modules connect, becoming a single transport, and then disconnect to carry the passengers to their destinations. This system allows it to be 15 to 75% more cost-effective, compared to traditional public transportation.
All right. And that is that's off the Unanswered Universe, their Instagram. And again, that's going to fall into fair use also. So no issues with that. But yeah, so how do you guys feel about I already stated what I feel about like electric vehicles, quote unquote, getting you from place to place without you being in any control. And that one seemed pretty interesting because you're just a passenger basically, and it works like a bus, but there's separate pods which take you to different directions. So if you're going the same direction as another person, it might take you a separate route, which means there's a lot more situations where the technology is really reliant. So how do you guys feel about something like that, man? Because that might be coming along with the whole 5G thing, like the whole entire 5G and all that stuff. This very well may be the next step in transportation and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's slowly getting to that point, like a digital city. Everything's working by grid and all these now I will say this before we get into this deep into this video right here. I want you guys to be aware the last video I put up was taken down. So those of you who are wondering what happened to that video, it got pulled because of the mention of something that uh, something that's very controversial that people don't want to put in their body. We're gonna put it that way. So when talked about, apparently there's an issue with copyright or something. They basically said spreading misinformation. I don't know, but so we're gonna be very careful how we address that situation today because obviously we had so much other good information in that video that never got put out there. So yeah, there you go. So we're gonna tiptoe around that, but we're still gonna talk about stuff related, but we just gotta be very, very careful how we say it. Getting stabbed, facts. Yeah. Getting the prick, getting poked, getting your body taking over pretty much. But yeah, so in terms of transportation, man, and this very well could be a situation where any transportation that pretty much is used by the public can turn into this electronic situation where you might have like the train may no longer be a thing now. You might have a situation where the train, the whole thing could be separate. You might even see the George Jetson thing, the flying cars might start coming in. That stuff all has to be electronic first. I remember having a conversation with somebody a while back, and they were like, yo, in 2000 was supposed to come, and we were supposed to have flying cars. And look, we ain't got no flying cars. I'm like, well, here's the problem with that. People can't even barely maneuver in the cars that they have on the ground. So can you imagine how high insurance would be for flying cars? Like that would just be crazy. The people can barely maneuver the way it is. Like if you come to like areas like Maryland, I've been to New York, I've been to New Jersey, all over the East Coast, Maryland, and they have to be some of the worst. They're driving, so they're some of the worst drivers I've seen. And can you imagine if these people had flying cars, like these accidents, like there would be no fixing your car for a fender bender. Like, it's either you're in a casket or you're not when it comes to being in the air. Let alone any of those mechanical malfunctions, Well, see, the thing about a car on the ground is a car on the ground, if your alternator goes up, the car shuts off, you pull over to the side of the road and the car is dead. If your battery cell dies in the air, you're going to hit the ground very hard and you're not going to get up. There's very little chance you're going to get up from that. So yeah, that whole situation. I mean, if you look at where they're putting all these electronic towers, I know around here in I think Washington D.C. also, they actually put the 5G towers in the street lamps. So they put those in the street lamps now. So now, like, it's a situation now where, like, you might have a strengthened signal if you have a 5G phone if you're near a street lamp with the 5G capabilities. And you can tell they're 5G because they have like that different LED look. You know what I mean? So a lot of them have if you look on the top, there's a little box on the top of them, and they're conductors. They conduct the signal and they basically strengthen it. So this is very much panning out to be the way that they're anticipating it to be. The goal is 6G. That's the goal. And everybody's talking about the metaverse and all that stuff and how that's going to work. This is all going to work hand in hand. I mean, those conductors and all those things is going to work out hand in hand, and everything's going to be connected. It's all electronic, and that's how it's going to go down, man, in the future. All right, I do have a video here of a foreign national getting pulled over. This looks like a newer video, as a matter of fact. Hold on. Actually, no, this isn't a newer video. We kind of slept this one. This came out last year, but we'll get to this. We'll get to this. Let's move on to the next thing I actually saw. So take a look at this. This falls hand in hand with what we're talking about with the whole electronic city. This might already be happening where you live at. If it is, let me know in the comment section. But here, we haven't gotten to this point yet. On the interstate on I-95, they have some of this technology right here. Check this out. Now, how do you guys feel about this?
These smart litter cams catch trashy drivers to make them clean up their act. The UK is using the new tech to match footage of tossed trash with the vehicle's license plate and pass the info along to agencies issuing fines. The cameras can catch something as small as a littered cigarette butt, and they help to specifically zoom in on rule breakers in the act with a fine of up to $168. Roadsides are home to a range of wildlife, and the impact of littering is serious, with pollution killing animals, poisoning soil and water. Cut down on your trash and toss it responsibly to show the planet some love.
All right. So they're using cameras now to basically, hold on, get this out of here. They're using cameras basically to not necessarily, I wouldn't say spy, but they're pretty much using cameras to catch people throwing shit all over the ground. Now, here's what I said. I actually got a debate with a guy online about this, and I basically say, yo, if you still riding with state plates, you deserve whatever comes with it. Because if they implemented this technology, they're probably going to implement it again to see that plate itself. So they're going to see the infraction, they're going to see the plate, and they're going to send you the bill. Same thing they do for like when you're coming back and forth on, let's say from New Jersey to New York, and they got that long bridge, and there's that one toll that snaps a picture of your license plate. And then when you get to the other side, it calculates how fast you went. And if you got there too quick, it gives you a ticket. It's ridiculous how they do it. But yeah, it basically works with that technology. But see, the thing about it is, if you're traveling privately and you got private plates, I mean, first, you shouldn't be throwing shit on the ground in the first place. Let's be honest. So if you're throwing shit on the ground and you got state plates, you in the wrong twice. You know what I mean? So clean up your mess, throw your stuff in the trash or recycle it. Don't be throwing crap all over the ground. I'm pretty sure anybody in this chat is not doing that though, because we're actually conscious enough to care about our environment. But I mean, I hate when I see that, yo. Like people, they just throw whole entire like Happy Meals and shit out of the window. Like, bro, what are you doing, man? You know you got to live here, right? Like this same trash is everywhere, man. On the side of the roads, people just don't give a damn. It seems like in some cases, man. But it's crazy. But yeah, as far as that goes, I'm not mad at the idea, but I don't like the idea of more surveillance because this technology can be used for other things also. It's not just for giving people ticket to litter. I mean, it's just like they put some cameras on corners here in Baltimore City back, and I think it's about 15 years ago, and they've been using them ever since. And these cameras can pretty much they basically eddy back and forth, and they just look around the whole entire neighborhood. And if they see somebody with a warrant on them or something like that, they'll notify the authorities. They're using facial recognition technology for that. That's another thing. That's another problem we could be facing. It can be used for facial recognition technology. So it's so many different facets to it, man. But the information is not the information, but the technology is very advanced, but it can be used too easily for the negative things. And then we all know the people in charge are more interested in using things like that for nefarious purposes. You know what I mean? So it's a certain degree of privacy you're supposed to have. I'm just wondering how that stuff's gonna work with those masks. You know what I mean? People walking around with masks on and stuff like that. You know, there's no way you can capture their whole entire face. So that's just a very interesting dynamic, to see unfold. But I will say this though, man, you shouldn't be throwing crap on the ground. But on the same token, extra control is a no-no because they've already got too damn much as it is. So that's why I am with that. I had a very interesting conversation with a guy. He might be watching the video because I actually told him to come on, jump on the Instagram and subscribe to the channel. We talk about stuff like this all the time. But I was talking about people's like, how you ride with private plates? What are private plates? Like, yeah, you need to get with the movement, man. You need to get with the movement. We got some more comments in here. No doubt, Chris, no doubt. Cool concept. But if you are a person of interest, they can reroute your ass straight to the person's department. Yep. That's what I say. Yeah, it can be used too easily for nefarious purposes, man. Now, if we had a guarantee this technology was only going to be used to give assholes tickets that throw shit on the ground, I would be all for it. If it was a guarantee that it can't be used for anything but that, I'd be with it. But the problem with that is all that stuff's interconnected, man. You know what I mean? So it's like it's another facet of information they can use against people, technology and such. What up, Yosef? What's going on with you, man? Or if they want you gone, I prefer to control my own travel. Yeah, he's talking about the electrical joint. Absolutely, yeah. If you're again, I'm pretty sure that would have facial recognition technology too. And it's a situation where if you had the chip or whatever, it can read all your biometrics information, and then boom, you get on that joint, and let's say, for instance, you might be one of some greedy or corrupt politician might want you gone. They might have the channels to make that thing crash into a wall. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Rounds with gang staff. Absolutely. I'm the living man and responsible to keep control of my conveyance for travel. Exactly. Like that's a little much for me, man. Like if I can't turn the wheel and go the other way, I'm not really interested in it, man. And people call me a dinosaur because I still like stuff from the '90s. I talked about this the last show. The last show that got pulled, man. Like, yo, like I like stuff from the '90s. The cars that weren't too computerized, man. Like these cars now have too many computers on them, bro. Like the TPMS, the tire pressure monitoring sensor, that's a computer. You know, if you got a situation where your pressure's low, it'll trigger a light to come on, and it's annoying as hell. So back in the day, all you had to do is make sure you check your air pressure in your tires every couple of weeks or something. Or if it looks low, you just make sure you keep your eye on that stuff. But now they got computers for that. It's a whole computer for that. You know, body control modules are expensive as hell. Powertrain control modules, the transmissions have their own computers. These cars are completely high tech, and it's only going to get more and more high tech. And you can look at the Teslas and see, you know what I mean? The Teslas are a prime example, but they have stuff in the cooking that are way more technologically advanced than Tesla. They're going to make Tesla look like a 1992 Ford Windstar. You know what I mean? I heard today that it contains nano routers. Absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't put it past them, man. You know what I mean? TRB, the really best government flying car. Haven't heard of that. TRB-3, the U.S. government flying car, huh? Interesting. I know Fisker is working on a submarine car. Their car is supposed to be able to ride on land, and it's supposed to be able to ride on water, and it's supposed to be able to go underwater. I think Fisker's working on that. It's supposed to come out by, I think, April or something, but you might want to grab some Fisker stocks. This is not stock advice, but that's what I would do. Right before that joint drops, you grab them joints and just hold on and see what happens. That's what I might do. Who knows? What up, Bill? What up, 86 to Foreign National, Born Natural? You already know what time it is, man. You know how I get down. In Dubai, I seen the police have some kind of helicopter bikes that fly. Dubai, yo, Dubai, they got jetpacks in Dubai. Yo, people, they riding jetpacks. They so far ahead of the future in Dubai. I mean, there's a giant mine of gold in Dubai, man. Like gold is like nothing over there. You know what I mean? They got all kinds of stuff over there that we don't have here. But yeah, man, it's interesting. What's good, Carl? Thanks for tuning in, man. Good evening, Mac. 1984, Orwellian. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yep. That was a book that came out, I believe. Yeah. I haven't read that book, but yeah, I've heard a lot of different excerpts from it, though. Orwellian society, where everything you're doing is being watched and all that stuff like that. Yeah. LOL, who cares? They can't ticket me with this crap, but obviously shouldn't just toss your stuff out. Absolutely. You're right on both ends, Jimmy. You're right on both ends, man. Read. You went it wrong twice, right? I don't like that. I'm not for litter, but it's spying for victimless so-called crimes, and don't get the tax killing the roads. But I'm not for throwing garbage out the window. Yeah, we all can agree you shouldn't be throwing crap all over the street. Like, put that mess in the garbage, man. Put it in the garbage. You know what's interesting, man? Like they say that they could reduce 70% of the litter problems that are had. I don't know if it's 70%. Don't quote me on that, but they were like, it's a substantial amount of litter that could be reduced if they were to switch over to hemp. If they were to switch over from plastics to hemp, and from it's biodegradable. So if it gets thrown outside in the street, it's actually biodegradable. So it's not extremely harmful for the atmosphere. It might be unsightly, which you're still a dickhead if you throw it out the window, but it's different because it's not harming the atmosphere. Stuff like that, like the plastics and stuff, that could be hemp. You know what I mean? We all live on this earth. We're supposed to take care of it. Exactly. Leave the world in a better place than you found it, man. That should be the motto we all live by. Even if you ain't out there planting trees and stuff, at least put your crap in a recycling bin or the trash or something, yo. Like, god damn. You'll kill me with that. What up, Zakiba? If you don't trash on the side of the road, If you don't trash from the side of the road, you deserve that ticket. There are some ones that's making them. This is, and this is why I say, this is why I tell you guys, some of these people who do this, I'm like, I have to say, probably a giant proportion of people that are doing this shit are U.S. citizens, yo. So like, some of these mofos deserve to be put in that kind of Orwellian society because of how they act. Like, some of these mofos act like savages anyway, and I hate to say that, but it's proof's in the pudding, man. If you're not taking care of the environment, you deserve to be, given a ticket and stuff like that for that stuff. What's good, James? What's up with you, man? Thank you for tuning in. Yep. Private plate, baby. Only way to roll. The damn seatbelt alarm. Yo, I saw this device. The seatbelt alarm. The chime. He talking about the chiming. So in the newer cars, if you don't buckle your seatbelt, it just keeps beeping the whole time you're in the car. I actually saw a device online where it was like a Punisher skull, and it had like a seatbelt, like a rectangle with a little hole inside of it, like the what is it called? The receptacle, whatever the hell it is. But you basically put it in the seatbelt and it quiets it up. So it's like, yo, you just plug this joint in if you don't want to wear a seatbelt. Which for the life of me, I don't really comprehend why people wouldn't want to wear a seatbelt. If you feel as though you could be trapped with the seatbelt on, you should always keep a blade or something like that on you in order to free yourself, or keep it in a whip in order to cut yourself free in case you get in a situation where you get trapped. See, a lot of these situations people get in, preparation would prevent that, man. But that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, the seatbelt chime, some people find that annoying. You know what I mean? But yeah, absolutely. The keeper said, I'll be sure to get this recording. Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I literally have to figure out how to record this joint for real. I gotta figure out how to do that. Because I know, I know last time a lot of people were asking me for the recording of the show. And yo, the bars I was dropping on that show, man, it's too bad that it got pulled. We even had Tony Cooper on here, if you ain't tuned in last week, but we got busy last week. We was talking. Nico says Fisker doing big things. Absolutely, man. And Fisk is an American company, man. Whatever they do, just look for the American electric car, and Tesla's already American car. And then you've got the Chinese cars too. Look out for those two, Neo and what is that other company called? Xpeng, Neo, and Li Auto. Those are the top three. They're like the Ford, Chrysler, Chevy of China. So they got these electric cars that are pretty much all in the market. China's notorious for they'll take what you make and they'll make their own version of it and sell it in China. But they won't let you import your stuff in so you can sell it there. Nah, if you want to sell your product there, you have to go in and you have to teach their technicians how to make that product. So you got to send your engineers in. They work in the building alongside those Chinese engineers, and they show the engineers how to build the product. So you get like a 4 or 5 year contract. So after that 5 years, they pretty much kick you out. And they basically, since the engineers know how you made the product, they can make it themselves. And that's what they've been doing. They've even got their own version of a Nissan GTR too. They've got their own version of it in China. It looks awfully similar to the GTR, but of course it's not a GTR. It's pretty close though. It's like a lot smaller too. But yeah, they've got all kinds of cars. Some of that stuff looks pretty badass though. If you look up some of them Chinese electric cars, man, you'll see what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, you know what? We got time. Let's look at some of them right now. Let's look at some of them. All right, so I'm gonna show y'all what some of them look like. You can cover that right now. And some of these joints, like I said, some look cool and some of them look cheap. Now this is badass, right? Look at this joint right here. I'm not sure what that is, but this thing is hard body right here. I just clicked an extension. I'm gonna have to transfer it. Hold on a sec. Yeah, some of these look cool. Hold on, let me transfer it over so you guys can see, because I clicked an extension. Somebody said China was broke. I was like, yo, what? They took everything from everybody else. How's that possible? Take a look at this right here. So we saw this one here, right? Everybody keeps saying the Chinese electric vehicles are coming. Just look at this thing, man. Look at it. This joint look futuristic. It's got the gull wing doors on it that swing upward. You know, it's only a matter of time for these bad boys on U.S. soil. When that happens, it's over, bruh. I'm telling you, they're gonna start slowly phasing out gasoline. You're gonna slowly start to see gas stations being converted to electronic charging stations and stuff like that. That's the first step. It's a slow conversion. The Royal Farms are slowly popping up everywhere. Now keep an eye on what's happening. Royal Farms is going to be one of the conduits. In order for them to move stuff like this in, they have to basically phase something in, and then they'll put like a separate joint. So like they'll have the Royal Farms popping up everywhere, right? Taking over all the old gas stations, giant Royal Farm centers. They've already implemented the technology in Royal Farms, which is basically the what is it, the cashierless kiosks, if you would. They've already implemented those. So what you're going to see is those are going to keep popping up everywhere. And if you live on the East Coast, you probably have one within a 5-mile radius of your house. So you're going to see that happen. And then you're going to start seeing the electronic charging stations also in the corner. They've already got the vacuum area over there. They got free air for your tires. You're going to start seeing the electronic charging stations over there near those. Right? That's going to be basically for the electric cars. They're slowly going to start phasing out the gasoline. Eventually, it's going to get to a point where only one pump is gasoline. You know, and then years and years. This might take about 15 to 20 years, but years and years later, there ain't going to be no more gas pumps, man. You're going to have to go drive or literally ride or whatever people do for literally probably 20 minutes in order to go get gasoline. So petroleum's on the way out. You know, sad to say. I'm going to miss petroleum. But, yo, look at this. This looks like a like one of those Kia vans or Hyundai vans or whatever. And this is a Tesla. I believe this is a Chinese Tesla. I don't know. They made Chinese cars in there. Look at this. This is a this looks like I'm not sure what this thing is, but it looks badass though. It looks like it's even got the Brembo brakes on it, if I can see here, in between the spokes for the rim. And this looks like one of them smart cars. You know, they've got all kinds of stuff coming out, man. Look at that. Look at this. I don't know what that is, but that's nice too. It looks like that also looks like a smart car. Actually, this one looks more like a Mini Cooper to me. That looks more like along the lines of a Mini Cooper. This looks like the little smart car, the little 2-door joint. Looks just like it. They probably just took the idea and copied it, man. But this is what China's always been doing. I mean, when you manufacture 75% of the world's items and stuff like that, you know, you pick up the tricks of the trade along the way, and you basically improve them and make them better. You know, that's only a matter of time, man. Them electric cars coming. They coming. It's a force you gotta be reckoned with. Bad Wolf is in the house. What's up, Bad Wolf? What's going on, James? It's a 1984 movie also. I didn't see the movie. Hemp is definitely the future. They building houses with hemp and it's natural fire retardant. I did not know it was fire retardant. You know what's interesting? They actually had what is it? I want to say hemp. I can't remember. Well, it was some auto part they had made out of hemp, and it was more durable than carbon fiber. But I know carbon fiber. If you ever seen the carbon fiber rotors on a lot of these cars, the carbon fiber is like super durable too. You know, they use carbon. It dissipates heat easier. You know, with brakes, you want to have your brakes as cool as possible. You don't want to have them too hot. But yeah, because they'll fail on you. But it's in terms of the breakage, it's got very low breakage point. The carbon fiber rotors are pretty durable, but they said the hemp itself is a lot better. Now I don't know if they have hemp rotors. Don't quote me on that, but there's parts they actually make out of hemp. So I'm not sure, but I do remember the carbon fibers were the highest like caliber of rotors you could buy at the one time. They use them for road racing and stuff like that, but it's, you know, alternatives to what they're already using. They don't want hemp. Exactly. They don't want hemp. Big oil wants it. Wait a minute. Big oil wants its products to be used in plastics, pharmaceuticals, building materials, etc. I agree 100%. You'll get no argument out of me there. Yeah, hemp could have been the move back in the day, man, but they've been using stuff like that for a while. The plastics and all that, man, all that stuff's been used. You know, it's supposed to be even got more chemicals and all that stuff in it, but they don't want the hemp because it's natural. You know, they can't make a lot of money off of natural stuff. I.e., man, I gotta watch what I say here. I.e., your natural IMMUNE system. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna start spelling it out like K Solo. That's old school for any of y'all who don't know. Yeah, so that's what it is with that. Seatbelt should be your choice, right? Yeah, absolutely. Seatbelt should be your choice, man. I mean, you shouldn't be forced to wear a seatbelt. I mean, if you want to not rock a seatbelt, that should be completely up to you. I mean, that's what America's built upon. It's built upon freedom. You know what I mean? If you don't want to rock a seatbelt, you shouldn't have to. You know, I'm not your dad or your mom. I'm not going to tell you to force you to wear a seatbelt. At the end of the day, we all know what that's about, though. It's all commerce, man. They make more money off you, slaving in the system than in a casket. You know what I mean? It's all commerce. Yep. Salute again. How much are the Tesla electric cars? I don't know, but they're expensive. they're expensive. See, this is the thing. Like the Tesla is still one of those cars where you really have to have bank to have one. Even any of the maintenance and anything like that, I can imagine when the warranty is up is going to be very expensive and all the computers and stuff. But see, the problem is it's still a higher line car. This is why we're still seeing gasoline cars. When you start to see affordable electric cars, I'm talking about $12,000 range, $13,000, $20,000 range, $25,000. When you start to see them for that price, that's when you're slowly going to start to see the gasoline cars phase out. Because right now they're still too expensive and impractical for the average middle class American to buy. You know what I mean? So at this rate, they're still not feasible. So you're not going to see a lot of charging stations. They've got one not too far from where I'm at, but you're not going to see a whole lot of them until they start being more affordable. Because what does that mean when they're more affordable? More people have them. More people have them. More people buy them. More people buy them. More people need to charge them. Right? Everybody starts to. You know how the humans work and the sheep will work. Whenever they see somebody with something they don't have, they're interested in getting that. So 10 people have that car riding around and they see it. They're like, yo, well, everybody's getting the Teslas. Everybody's getting an affordable electric car. Let me see what's up with getting one, Yeah, electric cars. Yeah, electric cars look cool, man. I give them that. They look dope, yo, but I can't get with it, man. Give me the good old fashioned gasoline car, man. Give me the, you know what I mean? Crank that bad boy up and hit an engine roar type deal. I remember they made the I love cars, man. They made the there's an AMG they had made. I think it might have been the SLS AMG. This was an electric car. They actually made it so that the car had light green paint. You can look this up. The car had really radiant light green paint, and the paint was able to absorb the sun rays because it was so like bright. I don't know, some radiance thing. I don't know. But they actually made the solar charge absorb through the paint. And it actually charged the car up as it went along. The car had like a brutish output of horsepower too. I think it had like 750 or maybe 800 horses. So it moved, but it was only a prototype. I think there was only like 4 prototypes ever made or something like that. And they actually ended up selling them off for like a dumb amount of money. But yeah, so the cars actually ended up not being mass produced for whatever reason. Maybe it's because they weren't cost effective. But yeah, they actually had with these cars, there's a function where you could actually press a button and it would simulate that engine sound. So you can actually press a button here like that when you're stepping on the gas. But it ain't nothing like the natural sound, man. You can't give me a speaker that pumps out a Mustang V8 engine and try to tell me to be happy with that. No, I'm not good with that, But I'm old school, Only a matter of time though. Carl Trombley says Lucid Motors, that's what I'm investing in right now. Which one is that? What we talking about? The other cars? He probably talking about the electric car I showed up there. All corporates are in debt. That's how they operate. Absolutely. Yeah, China. That would make sense. He's talking about China. What I said earlier. The chat, peace and blessings of Amun Ra, the sun, God, the sun be upon y'all. Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much. What's the price range? I kind of feel like you asked that already. You're asking questions twice. You're aware of that, right, Mr. Bailey? HHO generators for auto fuel. It says HHO runs the international combustion engines on water vapor. Absolutely. I'm also investing in ChargePoint as well. What is ChargePoint, man? Put me on with that. If any of you get the chance to take a ride in a Tesla, oh my God, they're the quickest vehicle I've ever been. I mean, stomach turning fast. Yo, Teslas get busy, man, but they're using the all-wheel drive system. Here's the Tesla secret, yo. This is what they're using. They're using the electric system, right? But they're using the all-wheel drive to help get the car off the line. So when you step on the floor and floor the gas, floor the throttle, wherever because they don't have gas. When you floor the throttle, you're actually getting all your power up front. It's just like having a supercharger. And all having four-wheel drive, all four wheels grip at the same time. So that's why they're so sick. But I just came from import versus domestic last month. Let me tell you something. Them electric cars got a long way to go because them Civics was out there getting busy. Them Civics were getting busy out there. The Supers didn't do too well, surprisingly. And I'm not talking about the BMW Super. I'm talking about the real Super, the 1990s one. But they weren't really doing that well out there. A lot of them were breaking. But the Civics got busy. Those Mustangs got real busy. And the Camaros would get nasty, too. Them the three cars that was really getting down. I mean, I'm talking like 6-second passes, 7-second passes in a quarter. If you came with anything less than an 8-second car, your car was slow. And then we talking about 8 seconds in a quarter mile. That's how fast they were. So yeah, the electric cars do have a long way to go, but I predict in the future it's going to end up being you're going to see events if you're into racing and stuff like that. You're probably going to see quarter mile events where they put the electric cars against the gasoline cars. That's coming too. And when that technology catches up, man, them gas cars are history. I'm telling you, they even gonna get their asses whipped on that circuit. It's only a matter of time, man. Technology is gonna catch up. It always does. I remember when back in the day when I was younger, my dad used to street race back in the day. So I used to go out there with him or whatever. So he had an NSX that was real fast, but a lot of the old school Japanese Civics and stuff, they had engine swaps and stuff like that. You had the Mustang boys that pick on them like, yo, shouldn't y'all be going home? It's a little late for y'all import boys to be out past your bedtime, because the imports didn't have a whole lot of tech out there for them. So the V8s were kicking the shit out of them. Next thing you know, they put out that 1999 Mitsubishi GSX Eclipse turbo, and it was beating the shit out of them Mustangs. And then they came out with super air fuel controllers and turbo boost controllers and all this stuff. And they were abusing those American cars, man. And I remember in 2003, I had a 2003 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution turbo. And I would go out there and I would listen to the import boys shit all over the American dudes. Like, he's like, yeah, y'all talking all that shit. Y'all American cheese, that old ass shit. Take that shit home. It's the new future right here. And they had the computers and all that stuff on them to bring the horsepower out. But, like I said, technology always catches up, man. So then now you got a situation where the American cars got the same technology the Japanese cars do. So now the Japanese cars, they fighting for their life because the American cars got bigger engines, But that's the whole thing with that. Whole thing. You should check out Lucid. I need to look in Lucid, okay? Fisker and the whole hyped up like Rivian. Let's go Lucid. Y'all talking about Lucid now. So I might have to look into that, man. Y'all might be dropping me some good advice on this. I'm going to write that down. I've heard of Lucid before, but I've never did any research on it. I should definitely do so, though. Everybody's talking about that right now. I'm looking at that. Yeah, you say you got to answer for my earlier questions in the chat. Oh, my bad, bro. Like I said, I just dropped a comment on that earlier. I have not gotten a chance to fully read what you type. I've read the first part, but I've been so busy running around. I haven't gotten a chance to finish it and give it a considerable thought. I literally just got back the emails probably less than 3 hours ago. So give me some time, man. I got you, though. Give me some time. I got you. Exactly. When I got into it was under $20 a share. Lucid, okay. See, I got in on I was in on not Fisker. I was in on Neo and Xpeng when they were in their 20s. So yeah, Neo and Xpeng, y'all need to be watching for them. I've been telling y'all to get to pay attention to that, yo. It's gonna be a matter of time for they blow. Hemp is good medicine. Oil rope, canvas, paper, hempcrete. Instead of concrete, it grows everywhere. Yeah, absolutely. Hemp can replace everything, man. Did you know they have the sativa brand of coffee? It can actually replace your caffeine coffee. There's a sativa, I think it's a coffee or a tea, man. It might be a tea, a sativa tea. It's a cannabis tea that can actually replace your caffeine and give you the same effect. So yeah, it can completely replace your caffeine. And then you could use the indica to simmer down, wind down. See, when I used to do when I was younger, I used to like indica. I don't mess with it that much no more, really. But like in terms of sativa and indica, my favorite thing, because I already got energy. I don't really need energy, so sativa wasn't really for me. But indica would mellow me out. Like when I do have a nice training session, bro, and I come home, I might do at the time I might do like an indica edible, and I might lay on the couch and just relax. Like my body would be completely relaxed, and that help you get a good sleep too. When I would sleep off of an indica edible or something like that, when I woke up, I felt rejuvenated. Those were some of the best sleeps I had. You know what I mean? For some reason, you sleep a lot better when you have like I would say indica. Well, I sleep better with indica. That would be buying more lucid morals when it drops slightly. Okay. They can't patent natural. They can, however, modify genetically, then own a version of it. But in law, they can try to block or downplay it, forcing you to buy their subpar materials. Yeah, you're right. That's what they've been doing. I say a lot of times too. They only started making weed edible when they started to come out with their own dispensaries and stuff, because they have their own way of growing it, and they're using heavy pesticides and shit like that in that cannabis. See, the thing about it is the young cats, everybody's like, yo, we don't smoke no Reggie over here. We only smoke that good herbal whatever, that potent shit. We only smoke that gas, that loud, that fire. The thing about it they don't even realize is a lot of that stuff's already been modified. So when you go to smoke, you go like down to the dispensary and you buy that strawberry shortcake, purple and pink weed and shit, and you think it's normal, it's just grown differently. Nah, nigga, that shit has all kinds of freaking pesticides and stuff in it. So when you go to smoke that, you getting extra high because you smoking chemicals too. And they be talking about Reggie and stuff like that. Like, yo, Reggie's natural. Like back when they used to get the herb and you had to pull it apart and stuff like that. Back when they would give you time for having a dime bag and stuff, before they were making money off of it. It's all commerce, man. All that stuff is commercial. So back when you had you would get a block of weed or such, and you would basically just pull the shit apart. And when you pulled it apart or whatever like that, it would be like sticks and stems and shit. It would be low quality and all that. But I mean, now it's got no sticks and stems because it's GMO. That shit ain't normal no more, man. I actually know about a pop-up that used to take place down in DC. And they actually interesting stuff, yo. Right in Washington, DC, they used to have pop-ups. And for you guys that live in super conservative states, see, the thing about conservative states, if you pay attention to what they do, conservative states, they don't really like marijuana per se. Like they'll still give you time for having like 10 dime bags or some shit like that. Out here, as long as you got, I think less than an ounce or something, like less than 2 ounces, I can't remember what it is because I don't really get down with it like that. But you can have a certain amount and walk around with it and be okay with it. Like cops don't even give you a ticket for it. They're supposed to give you a fine for it, which is the most they can do. But a lot of times they won't even say shit about it. They can search your whip though for U.S. citizens anyway. But just putting y'all with game how shit is being ran here. So with that whole situation, it's all commerce. So with liberal areas or more conservative blue areas, they actually allow it here. So when I went to Washington, D.C., which is also liberal, they actually had what's called pop-ups. And the pop-ups will randomly be spots they would keep secret, and they'd only tell people during a certain location or whatever, the certain day of the location, so you can come in there and do whatever you want to do and get out of there and shit. But it was very interesting because they had like 4 of them joints and they got raided, yo. The motherfuckers got raided like a year later, man. Like the goddamn feds ran up in that bitch. And they ran up in it because, again, they wasn't getting a cut of the commerce. Mofos was in there selling and mofos was not in there breaking off the IRS or whoever the proper channels were funds. That shit is all commercial, bro. It's all about commerce, man. That's what it's all about. But he's absolutely right. They're able to do that because if you're selling their chem weed and you're not giving them a cut, you're cutting them out of their profit and shit. That's what it is. Teslas look cheaper than what? Because the inside of a Tesla is a badass, man. What you mean? They look cheap on the interior? I know what I saw, man. Tesla look badass on the interior. Tesla promised a regular version of their cars affordable for the average guy, then their stocks will soar. Watch this. Watch this. Tesla might be like the Mercedes-Benz of electric cars. I still think the Chinese cars have to come over here, yo. Because if you remember, the first car was a Mercedes, I believe. The first car, if I'm not mistaken, was a Mercedes. It was like, geez, I want to say the goddamn, Don't ask me. Don't. I don't know exactly what year it was, but I do remember reading somewhere the first car was a Mercedes. And as you look at, if you look at what Mercedes is now, it's the luxury car version. So Tesla, not being the first electric car per se, but Tesla being the first heavily mass-produced electric car like that, pretty much they might end up being like Mercedes-Benz status when those electric cars take off. So you might not be able to get a Tesla affordable. If there is, there probably only be one version. But yeah. Get a Nissan Skyline with an RB20. My man is that's facts, man. 100%. I got nothing bad to say about the Nissan Skyline. I love Nissan Skylines. Absolutely. That's my shit right there, boy. What? Twin turbo. That's the twin turbo straight six. See, the good thing about the straight six cylinders is they're super easy to work on. Turbo is right there, intake manifold right there. Everything is right there. You don't need to do shit. Everything's there. Easy to get to. The V-shaped motors are a pain in the ass. The Nissan 300ZXs from the 90s, they were a pain in the ass to work on. It's a solar panel paint. Yeah, the Mercedes, yep. Solar panel paint is next. Yep. Hit that like button, everybody. I appreciate it. Fearless Floyd is right. Please hit that like button. I greatly appreciate that. Watch out for Elon Musk Neuralink. That's already coming. I think they already announced that, didn't they? I think they announced that already. That might have been last show, matter of fact, we talked about the Neuralink. We talked about the Neuralink a few times on this channel, though, so, but that's coming. That's going to work hand in hand with that 5G, baby. Best believe it. And that and the hand in hand with the, how should I say it? Something that rhymes with broken crack screen. Broken crack screen. Or broken line screen. Well, something that rhymes with that. Broken line screen. About the gasoline engines phasing out, I don't think the big oil companies won't see that happen with their cash flow. I mean, something's already changing though, Bill, because I've heard that what was it? I think overseas they're starting to take Bitcoin for petroleum. So it's already a change being implemented, man. I don't think there's no stopping it. Must been talking out billions of Tesla. Taking out billions of Tesla, probably moving it to Neuralink. Probably. Man, I want one of them rally cars for all-wheel drive. I love rally cars, man. I got a WRX. I love that damn thing, man. Not an STI, but that thing's lovely. Lucid Motors battery range in their automobiles are 520 miles per charge. Okay. ChargePoint is a company that charge up electric cars. Yeah, ChargePoint. Interesting. You're going to see a lot of that too. You're going to see start seeing a lot of these companies that actually charge them cars. And I'm telling you, it's going to be Royal Farms is going to be the conduit for the East Coast for this. Royal Farms is going to tap directly in with these electric cars. But yeah, you got to see the first thing that has to happen is you got to see affordable. You got to see more electric cars available to be purchased for a cheaper price. The only people that are going to be able to do that is China. And with the Democrats in office, they're going to basically get rid of all them tariffs and shit Donald Trump put on China so that they can get them cars over here cheaper. That's what's going to happen in order for them to sell them to be affordable. Because we already know the dollar's collapsing anyway. So they might be purchasable through Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Bitcoin or some other kind of cryptocurrency. Yeah. That's what it is, though. That's what's pretty much gonna happen. I wake up high after sleeping on indica sativa. Yeah, see the thing about it is, like here's the thing. I had a real bad experience with that shit one time when I did I had took this was back before I knew the difference, because there's three kinds. There's ruderalis, which a lot of people don't know, which is a mixture of both of them kind of. There's sativa and there's indica. So with the sativa, the problem I had with sativa when I would take the joint at night, like, I could not sleep. I did not go to sleep. I was way too high and I didn't go to sleep. And I missed all my sleep the next day, woke up didn't even wake up, stayed up to the next morning and got tired as hell when the shit wore off. And I was beaten on the day. So I was like, I can't rock with that shit no more. If I could do sativa, it would have to be early. But the thing about it was with the indica, I would take that joint like around maybe 9 or 8:30. And it depends on how big your body is and stuff like that. All that stuff plays a factor into how much you take, milligrams and all that. I think 50 milligrams what's good for me, but you gotta find out what is good for you. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what I had done back then. But I did that, and I got an excellent sleep. Eve goes the same as well. Okay, synthetic garbage. Yep, they put in that atrazine chemical BS and medical cannabis in that commercial BS. I know it, yo. I know it, man. That's why that stuff be different colors. Like my boy, one of my boys actually was in Colorado a while back. This had to be about 10 years ago now. And he bought hella shit from over there. And this motherfucker was crazy because he threw all that shit in his trunk and just just rode to Maryland. Like, bro, are you crazy? So this dude just rode to Maryland with all that shit in his trunk. And this motherfucker easily had about a lot, all right, of stuff, all right, in his trunk. And it was all for personal use though. But this dude, he had something called Blue Dream, I think it was, or Blue Hate. I can't remember. But this shit was like turquoise blue. The leaves were turquoise blue, and it had little like white sprinkles on it, and then it had like green hairs. It looked magical. So we puffed this shit, and I was like, God damn, this shit is strong as hell. But yeah, they putting all kinds of stuff in that stuff, man. Absolutely. Careful of Walmart weed, GMO corporations. Yeah, that Walmart weed is some trash, bro. Let me tell you. Anything Walmart makes, you should not put in your body. If Walmart makes anything, you should probably just wear it, or like, you should probably just wear it, or like use it to clean something up. But you shouldn't. I wouldn't put that shit in. Walmart to be on that bullshit, man. GMO is cDNA, absolutely complementary DNA, which is fully what is it? What's the word I'm searching for? Trademarkable or some copyrightable or something like that. Here's the Authority Association of Molecular Pathology. We actually read that. We actually read that one here on this channel about 2 months ago. But yeah, we read that. Absolutely. What up, Kevin? Good to see you here, man. The king has arrived. Steve, wow. When you get a chance, check a cartoon show called The Inside Job. Tons of that info was made in 2021. Okay. Now, let me get to some more of these. I'm too busy chatting and shit. I got more stuff to show y'all. I'll be going off on a tangent, boy. This conversation's already good. Let me show y'all some more of the stuff I had found while I was roaming these interwebs. Now look at this. Check this out right here.
Hello, Earth. I'm Alec Baldwin, TV star. You know, they say TV will rot your brain. That's absurd. TV only softens the brain like a ripe banana to take it all the way. We've created Hulu. Hulu beams TV directly to your portable computing devices, giving you more of the cerebral gelatinizing shows you want anytime, anywhere, for free.
I only hang out because I want your love. God almighty.
Mushy mush. And the best part is there's nothing you could do to stop it. I mean, what are you going to do, turn off your TV and your computer? Once your brains are reduced to a cottage cheese like mush, they'll scoop them out with a melon bowler and gobble them right on up. Oops. I think I'm drooling a little. Because we're aliens. And that's how we roll. Hulu, an evil plot to destroy the world. Enjoy.
Okay, so we talked about the lesser magic before, whatever the hell it's called, when they basically tell you what they're doing before they do it. And don't get more play than that, man. That dude Alec Baldwin's always caught up in some shit, so it's, that's one of the guys, that's one of the guys involved with that kind of stuff. But absolutely, yeah, that dude's Alec Baldwin's definitely for the take. And I know what y'all want to see. I want to see the foreign national joint. We'll get to that in a minute. I got you. I haven't forgotten. But let me show you another. Now, this is Hillary Clinton basically came out and said this in 1995. She was making remarks on human radiation experiments. Now, I'm not going to go through this whole thing because it's long, but I'll play a couple minutes so you guys can you can go watch it for yourself and listen to the whole thing.
Point out that with us are many family members of citizens who were subject to human radiation experiment and some of the advocates who represent them. Their presence signifies that this administration's commitment to meeting our obligations of power, our willingness to share information, to respect the right of people to know the facts, the responsibility to limit secrecy, and that which is truly essential, and that is to make those who were wronged and harmed whole. When President Clinton came to Washington, he was dedicated to the task of rebuilding the relationship of trust between the citizens and its government. This advisory committee report, the president's response, and the act.
So they've been trying to rebuild the trusting relationship between the government and the citizens well beyond 1995. So my question is, what has changed since then? What has changed since then? I'll make the argument nothing. Nothing at all. I mean, we're talking about the broken high beam thing, which you know what that rhymes with. What has changed?
Actions he will direct many of us to take today are all evidence of our commitment and his commitment to rebuild the trust with the American people. Why did we do this? Why did the president direct his administration to open the doors on human radiation experiments? I believe that this openness puts us in a position as a nation to close many chapters of the Cold War, just as the president did by ending nuclear weapons testing for the United States, as the United States and Russia did in pointing our missiles away from each other and in dismantling warheads.
Don't forget to pay attention to that flag, too. Whenever you see these people talking, just pay attention to the flag. If you see gold fringes, it is a psyop.
Extending the NPT. And today, another step of that openness is coming clean on the human radiation experience. When the president appointed the advisory committee, he committed our whole government to a massive record search, which included some 840,000 pages and the declassification of some 3,020 documents. And we have made available to the American people these government records because they strike at the heart of the relationship between the American people and their government, and whether the government misused individual citizens. The president committed to do this without knowing where it would lead or whether the records would reveal government mistakes, cause embarrassments, or lawsuits. He did this because he believed that it was the right thing to do. Today,
so this son bitch released 840,000 pages. 840,000 pages of declassified documents because it was the right thing to do. How about not fucking testing that shit on people in the first place? That's the right thing to do, but well, who the fuck am I? I'm nobody, right?
Today, the president receives from Dr. Faden and her colleagues on the President's Advisory Committee a report that tells the story of radiation experiments involving human subjects funded by the government. We did not realize when we began this journey the difficulty of the charge given these citizens. Eminent ethicists, physicians, scientists, citizens, even lawyers. For the past 18
Hey,
months,
laughing about that shit, right? Huh?
Advisory committee members and their staff have devoted much of their lives to this investigation. They sacrificed their weekends, their vacations, and late hours. And in the end, for the committee, their actual working days to review the documents going back for decades. Today, they give us their best judgment as to whether persons were wronged.
All right, let me fast forward this because I want to get to Hillary. Damn, where is she? Okay, so no, my bad. This wasn't Hillary Clinton. This is actually Bill. Well, Bill dressed up like a woman, Clinton.
Let me begin with a simple thank you to everyone who participated in this extraordinary project and to everyone who supported them. I am especially glad to see here today Senator Glenn, who's been so active in working on the medical ethics issue, Congressman Markey, who's worked on this issue for a very long time, Congressman Frost, Secretary Shalala, Deputy Secretary of Veterans Affairs Herschel Gober, and of course the Attorney General. Basically tries to get us all to do the right thing all the time. I want to thank Secretary O'Leary for her extraordinary devotion to this cause. And you heard in her remarks, basically the way that she views this. It's a part of her ongoing commitment to finish the end of the Cold War. And perhaps no energy secretary has ever done as much as she has to be an advocate, whether it is for continued reforms within the Energy Department or her outspoken endorsement of the strongest possible commitment on the part of the United States to a comprehensive test ban treaty, which I believe we will achieve next year, in no small measure thanks to the support of the Secretary of Energy. And of course, I want to thank Dr. Ruth Faden for her extraordinary commitment of about a year and a half of her life to this unusual but important task. And all of you who served on the committee, I remember the first time we put this committee together, I looked, I said, that's a pretty distinguished outfit. I wish I could give them 5 or 6 jobs to do.
All right, yeah, I'm not going to listen to the whole entire thing. It's too much. But yeah, looking at yourself, very interesting stuff there. Very interesting stuff there, man. Very interesting stuff. So let's jump on to the next thing. All right, so this gentleman right here was traveling in his private conveyance, and he is a foreign national and such. He was pulled over for his private plates. All right, now let's delve into this bad boy. I want y'all to see how he conducted himself. All right. All right, so my man's traveling. So the guy sees his plate in the other lane. He puts the lights on and jumps behind him. All right, we've seen this happen plenty of times. Watch how he conducts himself. The police officer must have told him to go park in the next parking lot or something. Or next side road, looks like.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
Back window roll down.
No, I'm good. I can roll. I can keep it like this.
Is there anything back there?
No.
Are there any people back there? Okay.
I didn't get you permission to do that, man.
All right, sir. So, you have any idea why I
He
pulled
just
you over?
opened his door.
Okay, I'm Officer Golden.
All right, so he just opened his door without him asking him. This man has private plates on his personal conveyance on his private property because it's not registered with the state. So that officer does not have jurisdiction over that whip, and he just opened his door without permission. So easily, if you had a fee schedule in place, that's automatically whatever fee schedule you set. So if somebody's administering trust property without permission from the trustee or what have you, or whatever, then yes, that is a mean fine.
Phoenix Police Department.
Okay, but let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you opened my door like that?
Yes. For my safety, I can't see back there.
Okay, but you had to get my permission to do that.
No, sir.
Do you have a warrant to do that?
No, sir. I did not, I did not go into your vehicle. I just looked inside.
Okay, we'll figure we'll settle that later.
Do
But
you have your driver's license with you?
no, I do not have a license.
You don't have a driver's license?
I turned it back in. I don't need a license. This is not a commercial vehicle.
This is not a commercial vehicle?
No, it's not, and I'm not operating in the commercial capacity.
Is it registered in the state of Arizona or anywhere else?
As a matter of fact, I turned that back in as well. I'm gonna have my girlfriend go on my.
All right, so like the bad wolf said, if you want to be out here sliding and gliding with your private plates and you don't want to give them no license, please make sure you have evidence that you turned your license in, because they ain't trying to hit that shit. They trying to contract. So first thing they want to do is search up a license. And a lot of times, like what happened to me, if you turn your license in and the Department of Motor Vehicles doesn't remove it because they love to hold on to them contracts, you're going to be in some shit. You know what I mean?
My glove compartment. Got some paperwork to show you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Get it.
What paperwork?
No, I'm not rolling any windows down.
He's just talking to me. He doesn't want to roll any windows down.
Now, what I can give you is I'll be more than happy to give you an ID. And why did you pull me over?
You don't have a valid registration, sir.
Okay, and we already established that it's not required that I'm not operating as a commercial vehicle, correct?
In the state of Arizona, you have to have a valid registration to have a vehicle on the roadway. You also have to provide me with identification.
I don't have to, unless I committed a
In the state of
crime.
Arizona, you do. If I pull you over for a traffic infraction, you do have to.
And what's the traffic infraction?
You have no valid registration.
Okay, did I commit a crime?
That's not a crime. It's a civil matter.
Okay, so if I don't commit a crime, I'm not required. Hold on.
You are committing a crime now.
What crime is that?
Not providing me with a ID or driver's license.
So a crime is when you injure someone.
No. A crime for the state of Arizona. You got to understand here.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you're working off of constitutional law, right? I'm working off of state law.
And your job is to uphold what?
The Constitution.
Hey, yo. Listen to this motherfucker. Listen to this guy. Yo. Hold on, man. Listen to this
Commit
guy.
a crime, I'm not required. Hold on.
You are committing a crime now.
What crime is that?
Not providing me with a ID or driver's license.
So a crime is when you injure someone.
No. A crime for the state of Arizona. You got to understand here.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you're working off of constitutional law, right? I'm working off of state law.
And your job is to uphold what?
The Constitution.
Yo, I swear these motherfuckers don't be thinking before they talk, yo. They just don't think. They just do shit, yo. Like, yo, did you hear what you just said, bro? Oh, man, yo. I got to hear that one more time.
And what's the traffic infraction?
You have no valid registration.
Okay. Did I commit a crime?
That's not a crime. It's a civil matter.
Okay. So if I don't commit a crime, I'm not required. Hold on.
You are committing a crime now.
What crime is that?
not providing me with a ID or driver's license.
So a crime is when you injure someone.
No. A crime for the state of Arizona. You got to understand here.
Mhm.
It sounds like you're working off of constitutional law, right? I'm working off of state law.
And your job is to uphold what?
The Constitution.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm not here to hassle you.
No, I don't.
Look, you see him smiling. He's smiling because he know what he just said was fucking stupid, and he knows he just got caught. He knows it. That's why he's laughing. That's why he's laughing. You see his face. The dude's laughing, yo. You laughing because you made yourself look like an asshole. Literally, bro. Like, yo, you going off constitutional law. I'm going off of state law in Arizona. Well, what are you supposed to uphold? The Constitution. You're an asshole. The end. You're a complete asshole. But now, I digress.
I'm more interested as to why.
Okay.
I've never seen anything like this.
I understand, and I figured that.
Okay.
So now
I'm not here to hassle because if that was the case, if I was here to cause you any kind of grief or hassle, I would just would have taken you out of the car.
And then now you're talking about civil lawsuits when you do that.
No, because is that a passport?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And I'm thinking about giving to you. I'm not sure if I'm gonna give to you, but just for the record, is your accent on the recording?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I also have mine.
Actually, I had to let me look down, double check because it sure is.
All right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put mine right here because it's on and recording as well as my glasses.
Perfect.
All right. On and recording as well as my glasses.
Perfect.
All right. Now, I'm gonna show you some paperwork. It has my name on it. So what I will do as a courtesy to you, I give you I verify who I am.
Perfect.
Right. All right. Now, what I end up doing is here's the proof that I've turned in my license plate. Okay. Back to the DMV because I'm no longer contracted with them because I don't use this as for Uber driver or taxi driver, so I don't operate in a commercial capacity. Okay. Here's another paper. I turned in my driver's license.
Okay.
I gave it back to the DMV. Now that's just for you to look at, but of course I won't go back. But that just shows that I don't use this vehicle for commercial purpose. That's why I have my plates that says for non-commercial use only.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't. When you get a license plate at the DMV, it's required that you get that, or you're under the assumption that you're operating in a commercial capacity.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if I was an Uber driver, I'm gonna need that.
You would need your
because I'm operating, I'm transporting passengers and stuff like that.
Okay.
But for my own private car to go from A to B, I don't need that.
Okay. Which makes sense. Unfortunately, state law says you do. Even if you're not.
What ARS statute was that?
I would have to go look it up. I don't know statute by heart.
Please give it to me.
Okay. Statute also says that this doesn't count as providing me with ID. Like I said, I'm not here to hassle you.
No, I understand.
I'm not here to hassle you. I'm just letting you know.
I will ask you to show me those.
That dude completely lied about that. The statute or whatever says that a passport, a federal passport, which is from the U.S. corporation, which is the owner basically of that state of corporation, their identification is invalid, which is bullshit because if you look at the Real ID Act, they literally just put out. Now we talked about this last week also on the channel. The Real ID Act they just put out basically makes it so that if you don't have a license that's Real ID compliant, which has the star in the upper right hand or upper left hand corner, if you see those on the identification, it's a Real ID. If you don't have that, you're not able to travel via airplanes and such, is what they said. So if you bring an old school license that's non-Real ID compliant to use it as identification to get on the airplane, they won't accept it, which is stupid because it's not like it's invalid. You know, it's your face, but it's again, it's contracts. It's not about verifying that, you know, who you are. It ain't about that. That's just about contracts. So when you have a passport, you're able to travel via airplane. So that constitutes as valid identification, that or a Real ID. So him saying that you given a passport does not qualify as real identification is actually the opposite, because the first thing they actually had was passport cards before the Real ID even became a thing. So that guy was completely lying about that.
Laws, if you telling me
this one is 28.
Yeah, that's complete bullshit. He's making shit up now.
I mean,
I gotta go look it up.
You got, please. I mean, if you gotta look it up.
Yes, it's called Operator Failure 1595 Bravo.
Operator.
Operator Failure to provide ID.
Operator.
Yes.
That's what? That's the
You're operating this vehicle.
I am not operating this vehicle.
What are you doing in it?
I am traveling in this vehicle.
Okay.
Operator.
See, he said vehicle. I would have said private property. I wouldn't have said vehicle because that's a commercial term also. I don't know that somebody put the United States code there that defines what vehicle is. Somebody put that in the chat.
If you look up the Arizona revised statutes, operator. If you look up operator says it's a person that operates a motor vehicle on the highway for commercial purposes.
Okay.
So an operator, like a bus operator, they transport passengers. That's commercial.
It makes sense.
Anything to do with traffic is commercial.
Okay. Well, I'm not a traffic guru, and I'm not here to hassle you.
But I've done my research. That's what I'm saying.
See, he's saying I'm not a traffic guru and such, but the problem is you trying to enforce shit that ain't even goddamn applicable to this particular man. Like you're trying to enforce code, statutes, and ordinances that aren't even applicable to this gentleman right here. So that's the problem with you saying you're not a traffic guru. And again, anybody who watches this channel knows I don't have a problem with police officers. The ones I have a problem with is people who took an oath to uphold the Constitution and do everything but that. They only uphold the Constitution when it benefits them. You know? So that's complete crap.
I am gonna tell you that you're probably gonna get pulled over multiple times, and you probably already do.
This is my first time, and it's been when did I turn that in?
So this been his first time getting pulled over. He handled that like a G. He handled that real well, you know.
Let me see, 1028.
The plate. Is that the driver's license?
1028.
I've been to California in this car. Highway Patrol in California got behind me, nothing. So you're the first, man. So congratulations.
Okay. Well, just so you know, operator afraid to provide. I would have to read what operator says. I'm gonna take your word for it.
Oh,
because we have calls to get to, and
okay.
we're quite busy.
Okay.
I'm not here to hassle you and write you tickets and take you out of the car. Just letting you know that from what I operate by, this is not valid. All righty.
Yeah. So your job is to operate traffic. And
yes, when I deem it necessary.
But yes, so
yes.
your job is to operate traffic, somebody speeding and stuff like that,
or no registration,
expired tag,
or no tags.
Overseeing, but I don't have a state plate.
Yes, you don't.
So that's therefore not contracted, so it's not required. Okay. That's why I gave it back. Now, if I had that and I had an expired one, well, that's your job to say, hey, you don't have any tags. What's up?
Yeah.
But that's why I got rid of it.
Well, this is kind of the same thing as you getting a Sharpie.
No, kind of.
You getting a Sharpie.
It's the same thing.
You getting a Sharpie.
Is it kind of?
Yeah, I don't have time to run through the traffic laws here and say, all right, well, you were wrong here, or you were right here. I'm just letting you know, hey, you get another officer that is kind of more of a stickler about traffic, that they could possibly write you tickets and pull you out of the car for providing me this. And,
see, what you say when you say pull me out of the car? Meaning what?
So you driving this vehicle, traveling in this vehicle, and providing me this 28-1595 Bravo says this is not the proper identification when you're operating a vehicle.
Operating, that's the key word. I'm not and a vehicle in the transportation code. That's the transportation code term.
For commercial?
For commercial. I used to be a truck driver. Okay. So I know the commercial code pretty good.
Okay.
So
and I used to have I'm sure if you had a commercial driver's license, you probably know more about traffic than I do. I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, I'm the police officer, so I know blah blah blah." Yeah. That's not what I'm here to do.
Right.
All right, brother. Well, safe travels. Okay. Just letting you know you can possibly be pulled over again. All righty.
I understand your curiosity, man. Hey, you're a citizen guy. Hey, you uphold the Constitution today, man. I appreciate it.
Yep. Have a good one.
All right.
All right, brother. Well, safe travels.
Okay.
Just letting you know you
understand.
Be pulled over again. All right.
I understand your curiosity, man. Hey, you're a citizen guy. Hey. You uphold the Constitution today, man. I appreciate it.
Yep. Have a good one.
All right.
All right, so my man got busy there. A man got busy. All right, he got pulled first time getting pulled over. He did pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy was watching lots of videos like the ones we do here, you know. But I mean, the dude did excellent, man. He kept his composure. He wasn't rude. He wasn't loud. He knew his rights. You know what I mean? He stayed at his point. He gave up his passport and such. You know, he put his cameras on. He made sure the officer's cameras on. You know, he got his point across without being belligerent. You know what I mean? And it worked out. So that's another way you can conduct yourself when you get stopped. You know what I mean? That's just another way you can possibly do it. So yeah, anybody who's going to be traveling for your first time and such, just remember, man, it's all about how you conduct it. Well, most of it's about how you conduct yourself, you know? Hold on a sec. All right, let me get that out of here. I thought I might have saw something else we could look at, but nah. So yeah, you know, dude gets an A+ in my book. The way he got busy, you know what I mean? That one of your people's Wolf, you know him? I know I didn't like the fact that he should have whited out his information on his passport. It might have been hard to see, but somebody with a crazy camera could probably see all his information. But yeah, his passport card was kind of out in the open a little much. So let me go back here, see the comments. But my thing was when he told him, he said, you know, he tells the guy, it sounds like you're going off of constitutional law. I go off of state law. He says, well, what did you take an oath to uphold? The Constitution. What are you talking about? You need to be going by constitutional law, then, man. What are you talking about? You took an oath to this. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn. Yeah, he really does believe himself. Yeah, he did. I kind of feel like some of these dudes do this shit just to have a word battle to see if they can, you know, have a word battle or win a word battle or something like that, yo. And maybe they be so bored on their roots, man, because some of these police officers in some of these areas don't be having nothing else to do. They be like, man, let me go fuck with this guy real quick and see if I can give him a ticket. Never cease to amaze me how uneducated these policy enforcers rules are. Dumb people are dangerous, bro. Scary. You know what's interesting? I actually know a few people who applied. This damn camera keeps focusing out. I actually know a few people who applied to become a police officer, and they actually they were told they didn't get the job because something happened with their the written portion of it. And I kind of feel like, to a degree, they only let certain police officers get in with certain, like, if your score is too high in the intelligence test or something like that. You know, if you ask too many questions, they're too inquisitive or something. You know, if you answer a question the wrong way, they don't let you get in that bad boy. That might have something to do with it, man. You know, that might have something to do with it. He says that's the contract right there when you take orders from an agent. I don't think so, man, because it depends on the situation. That's situational, man. You know, you always have to remain in honor. That's the main thing. Remaining in honor is what you want to do. That's going to be the name of the game, remaining in honor. So if he tells you to move off the road or such, I mean, just continuing the ride and not listening to him, you know, and then coming to a stoplight and he's pulling a gun on you and telling you to get out the car, you know, as opposed to you just moving off the side of the road and then, you know, doing what that guy just did, just got busy with the intellect and schooled this man and let that be the business, you know, as opposed to, you know, trying to be falling into dishonor, basically. You know, you want to avoid that. I mean, don't forget, these guys are still basically the military. They still have the numbers. They still have the AR-15. They still have the 9 Glocks, and they still have the damn diplomatic immunity, damn near, or qualified immunity. They got all that shit. So, I mean, let's not forget that. Play it smart. U.S. Supreme Court rules it's a search of a police officer. Oh, no, he definitely violated the 4th Amendment big time, because that dude was not contracted at all. He didn't have any state plates on his personal property. So, no, that was not in the officer's jurisdiction. And it wasn't registered. So that officer, he could put a mean tort claim on that officer if he wanted to for a violation of the 4th Amendment. That he could have definitely did that. Absolutely. But that's the importance of not having state plates on the whip, not having state plates and not having registration. If your shit ain't registered and you ain't got no contract, you ain't got no contract. They can't force you to contract. You know what I mean? They're a private agency. They're hired by the state of. They're a private agency. That's like Comcast pulling you over and telling you you can't ride around with private plates. Like, yo, y'all are a private agency. You know what I mean? I'm not contracted with you guys. Yeah, got him. The conversation should have been over at that point, but it was an ego battle for Yo for real. His ego wasn't as big as some guys would, because they would have even answered that damn question. They'd have avoided that shit because they know they in the wrong. Yep, absolutely, he did. Ever since babies are uneducated, these policies, yeah, I got that already. That police officer just admitted to violating the Constitution by what he just said. Yep, big time. Officer knows the constitutional law supersedes the jury. No, they don't, because they don't study. They don't study case law. There's actually a way that those police officers can get around the constitutional questions on their test. So when they take the oath and there's actually questions they have to answer on their police test, there's actually guys that help them get around that shit without even reading it. And it's for their benefit. It's for not the police officer's benefit, but it's for the agency's benefit. Because the less the police officer knows, the more stoutly he can enforce statutes, codes, and ordinances. The more he knows about the Constitution, the less effective he's going to be to drawing fiat. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. You know, somebody riding around with private planes is not hurting no damn body. That's complete stupidity. The fact that somebody would even worry about something that minuscule, and right down the road you probably got a damn liquor store being robbed or something like that, or somebody being carjacked, and you worried about somebody's plates that ain't bothering nobody. Craziness. Yeah, Marbury versus Madison is what is it? Marbury versus Madison. I want to say 1803. 1803, Marbury versus Madison. Any law that is repugnant to the Constitution of the United States of America is null and void. Boom. Yes, he did play so. Absolutely, that was priceless. It was great. It was fire. The officer didn't specify the state or USA Constitution. I'll be honest, Jimmy, I don't think it matters, bro, because every Constitution in every state has something that, like the Article 24 of the Maryland Constitution, which basically says that no man shall be the seize of his freehold papers or property without without due process of law, I believe, or something like that. But it's pretty much almost the same thing as the Fourth Amendment. But every state has something like that. And a lot of states refer back to the Constitution also, the United States of America Constitution. So, you know, I don't think it matters for that, man, in that particular situation. Can you rent a car without a license plate with a passport card? You know what's interesting? I actually talked to a guy that works at Enterprise Rental Car. And he was saying that you can't, but I've heard stories from people doing it somehow. I've also heard that the letter and the number underneath the picture of the passport photo, people are able to get cheaper insurance. I'm not sure if people are saying, yeah, I left my license home, just put this number in right here, and it's coming up that way. I don't know. I can't say. But what I will say is there's a way that people who come here from Africa and Canada and all these other places are getting rental cars. You know, as foreign nationals. So, you know what I mean? So there's a way it can be done. We just haven't cracked the code yet. So much talk aside from it's a good time to teach. I do a quicker way. What way you do? Dispel the bars, man. It all boils down to commerce and contracts and corporations. The legal system is a corporate entity, i.e. a corporation. Absolutely. 100% fact. That's what I was saying. It's contracts, and they're forcing you to contract otherwise. Traveling my private property. Exactly. Yep. You can if you know how to do it. What you talking about, man? You should say automobile. Yep. You don't have problems with police officers. Have you forgot your definitions? Police policy enforcers. Yeah, I got you. For junking, police replaced with law. Well, here's what I really would prefer. I prefer, you know, sheriffs to run around, because I know in certain red states they don't have police officers. They have sheriffs. And here in Maryland, they got police officers, because this is not. They don't give a fuck about the Constitution here, because the people let them get away with that shit. So they got police officers here, which are policy enforcers. They don't uphold the Constitution. Even though they took an oath to it, they don't give a fuck about no oath. But yeah, I agree. I would say if it was up to me, I would have sheriffs come back here, and I would have them be staunch reporters of the Constitution itself and all the Bill of Rights. Chris says, why don't they, talking on police, go look for violent criminals, looking for people stealing, damaging property, or harming women's children, animals, instead of bothering peaceful people? Well, I mean, they revenue collectors, man. They policy enforcers, revenue collectors. You know, they revenue collectors, bro. A lot of them would rather do shit like this than go fuck with some violent crime. A lot of them rather do, because it's easier. It's easier, and a lot of people are defenseless when it comes to this type of stuff. Strict word traffic. Get it? Look up the definition. Yeah, we know about traffic. Absolutely. You missed some of my gems, brother. What I miss, man? Yeah, dude. We try. I literally was caught up in the comments, man. I had to keep moving, yo. I got you, yo, but we had a lot of stuff to cover. Maybe I'll go back a little later on and go to it. And I'm not doing it on purpose. I can't say for sure he was one of mine, but he was prepared like he was. Yeah, he had his paperwork on him too. That was interesting. I wonder what documents he had. I know he had a document that he turned in his license. He ain't had no license and shit. He had that. So that's if you turn in your license and they ain't pull your file all the way out, you can still go in there and get proof that you turn your license in. If I hear your IQ is too high, you cannot be a policy enforcer in big cities. They want order files, not there. Yeah, that's what I was saying, yo. Like ex-military guys are shoo-in because ex-military guys, no offense to any ex-military guys that may be in here, but they order takers. They're experts at taking orders. You tell them to be here 800 hours, that motherfucker's going to be right there on that line at 5 minutes before that or 10 minutes before that. He'll be early. You feel me? Ignorance is the root of all evil. They need them to be ignorant so they can do their evil stuff. Exactly. Qualified immunity is. So you over here talking in codes, bro. You gotta break that down, man. If you know something we don't know, go ahead and drop bars. A guy who scored a perfect on the police test sued for not getting into the academy. Yep, there you go. Too smart, too intelligent. You gotta be a goddamn club. Only be used when you're being used, basically. You know what I mean? Only of use when you're being used. Not no thinking for yourself shit. They don't want that. Plausible deniability, absolutely. They investigated and found out they were purposely not taking the smart people, prefer low intelligence and military. He won his case. There you go. Let me get that information there with that case law. I want that. But yeah, absolutely. I've heard stories from police officers inside that basically say, yo, they want people who basically don't ask no questions. Just do what the fuck you told. Don't ask no questions, and you get the promotion and shit. You get the better hours and all that stuff like that. It's a game, man. You know, it's a game. And if you don't play ball, you basically gonna be an outlier. And messed up, yo. It should be the opposite. You know what I mean? Now I'm thinking drone drop. I mean, I would say I'm not gonna say non-thinking, but I'm gonna say this. They should know, they should be required to know a lot more than they're actually showing. They should be required because, yo, that is a very powerful position to be a police officer. That is a powerful job to have. Automatically, you're a sovereign citizen off the rip because none of the statutes, ordinances, and codes apply to you off the rip. So, I mean, that's important. People need to be of high intelligence quota to be able to do stuff like that. Guy in Florida sued the police department as a U.S. national, American national, for a police stop and won $404K for a 15-minute unconstitutional stop. Dude, the dude that sued the officer and bought a 911 Turbo. Yeah. I don't know if he was in Florida, but he got busy, though. I think he won $250,000 and bought a brand new 911 Turbo. Shit. He should have had a factory title. Yeah, the certificate of origin. Yeah, I actually have the information on how to get that. It's actually pretty easy from what I have here. They use foreign driver's license, and they're able to get. But see, that's bullshit though, because how is it that they can use a foreign driver's license and get a damn rental, and we can't use a foreign national passport and get a rental, which is basically a U.S. passport, pretty much, and get a rental? That's complete bullshit. But it's all good though, because it's only commerce. You know what I mean? Only commerce. Quick away about 5 minutes or so. I'll let the passport do the talking, not the card. Page 1, paragraph 1. The passport. So you carry the book, huh? I don't like carrying a book, bro. When I went to Texas, I kept the book in my back pocket, yo. And like, it was so hot and humid out there, man. The damn book started to get wavy because the moisture from my ass or whatever it was, me walking around, my legs getting sweaty and shit. It made the passport all like not wet, but it made it like the moisture got in, like the pages got a little wavy. So I'm like, yeah, this is not gonna be the move. So I need to keep the card, because when I got the card, I keep that in the wallet. Can one national drive another national's car? Well, you might want to check your words on drive, but I mean, I don't see why one couldn't. I mean, nationals can operate in commerce too. I don't see why not. That's a weird question, but I suppose you answered the wrong way. Reframe that question, bro. Policy is the rules and regulations of contract and corporate agreement. Absolutely. I told a friend of mine a long time ago I'd rather have the police commissioner and police chief in my pocket than be a police officer. Word. Just smart enough to push the buttons, yep, and pull the levers, I guess he meant to put, but not smart enough to think critically and ask questions. Yep, that's what I've been saying that, yo. And once you just smart enough to be able to get up in the morning, pour your cup of coffee, put some clothes on, get in that whip, hop in, punch the clock, put on that police uniform, however they do it, put that vest on, put that 9 Glock on, jump in that patrol car, ride around, stop people for bullshit, tax them, you know what I mean? Arrest people for stupid shit, exercising their rights, come back, take off all that shit, go home, go to sleep, eat some dinner, go to sleep. They want you just smart enough to do that, but not smart enough to ask why. That's what they don't want. That's what they do not want. They don't want that. Don't ask why. That's a forbidden question. Just do it. They need to spend more time in law libraries and shooting range. I'm gonna say both of them, honestly. If you got a damn, if you're a sovereign citizen running around with a 9 Glock and you in charge of something like that, you need to be at the range too, and you need to be in a law library for real. You don't need to be, hooking up with no chicks or nothing like that. You need to be in a law library. You need to be at that shooting range where you can hit the damn target. And stop being so scared and pulling the trigger, accidentally killing people and shit. Yeah, but to get an international driver's license, a driver's permit, you got to have a state driver's license. That's what the requirements is for that. So a lot of us don't want that shit because too much hassle with it. All you need is an ID to rent the car, but to drive, they'll say you need a license. That's how they use a foreign license. That's not true, bro. What company you talking about? Because Enterprise don't do it like that. And unless you talking about Avis or something, some other company does like that. Enterprise, you cannot rent a car unless you have a license. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Kevin. Of course, your parents are from Nigeria, so you might know something I don't know. But as far as Enterprise rental car, without a license, you ain't renting that motherfucker. That's how it goes. Bye-bye qualified immunity. Start with 42 United States Code 1983 along with other codes. Boom. 18 USC Title 242. That'll also work too. Because once you're operating out of your scope of authority, you're pretty much operating as just a man, and you're not protected as just a man. Best book to carry with you is the Black Law Dictionary. The Black's Law Dictionary is big, yo. I don't think so, man. You ain't got time to be looking up individual stuff. Best book to have on the tuck is that, I'd probably say, like in the crib or something. Cruden versus Neal 12, NC 338, 1796. Every man is independent of all laws except those prescribed by nature. He is not bound to any institution formed by his fellow man without his consent. Hey, it's a good one right there, man. Cruden versus Neal. 1796. It's interesting. That's a good one right there, yo. Take notes. Take notes. That's a good one right there. Cruden versus Neal. I know myself. Switch pens real quick. I got the real good pen to have, man. If you got like a little office or something like that, try to go in Staples and get one of these bad boys. This is called Tool. Hold on. See if I can do this real quick so you can see. You see it? It's called Tool. T-U-L. There we go. Tool. T-U-L. These things are real nice to have. They slide and glide along the paper real smooth. They got them in all kinds of colors too. I suggest red, purple, or blue. Absolutely great pens to have, man. I actually stopped past the Staples and grabbed actually one of each. I was very impressed. Very impressed by that. People who drive in the U.S. must have a valid driver's license. If you're a foreign visitor, some states require you to have an international driver permit. Yeah, but see, that's commerce, though. So to rent a car, that's commerce. And to actually drive that car, that's commerce, too. So you need a driver's license, which makes perfect sense. I don't think you can rent. I'm not sure you can actually rent a car with a passport. I don't think you can do that. Not to drive it, anyway. So even if a national finds a way to travel if in a rented car, wouldn't you be pulled over in the jurisdiction because of the plates? Yeah, I would say that's going to be a battle you have to deal with, because if you gave, let's say for instance, you were able to get a car with just a passport or such, you got a contract, which is commerce, and you're paying for that rental, which is commerce. So it's going to be tough to prove that you're traveling in the car you're paying for. That's why when they say, like, you know, if you got a car, you still make the payments or owing or whatever like that to the bank or whatever, that basically falls back under the U.S. jurisdiction. So if you got a car and you just put private plates on it, but they have record of you making payments and such, you know, if you want to took out a loan for it, they still going to try to yank you back in. Bad Wolf has said that. I've been at the law library and the shooting range several times. Bars. I'm still trying to put together this trip to go to the law library, man. Out here, the Annapolis Law Library. That's the closest one's about 45 minutes away. Trying to get some people interested, man. Get at least like 6 people so we can do a trip. I'm also trying to get out there and get that world passport too. I might end up doing that this week. I don't know. Joe in the Bay talks about how to get the commercial license. So yeah, Ghanaian, by the way. Interesting. That's interesting. Oh, you're Ghanaian. Okay, my bad. I thought you were Nigerian. Ghanaian. Okay, no doubt. Respect. My bad, Kev. All codes, rules, regulations are unconstitutional, lack of due process. That's 100% fact. Those are for U.S. citizens, and U.S. citizens are unconstitutional. For information, you can rent an automobile with a passport. You have to do it right. The setup is before you even go to the counter. You had to break that down, bro. Like you talking codes, man. Put that out there, man. How do you do that? You must got to go on a website or something like that. Create your own private nation's automobile license to rent a car. Yes, national can travel in other nationals' auto. Absolutely. Okay. He says create your own private nation's automobile license and rent a car. Okay. Yeah, he's talking about micronation. So if you got a micronation and you got a license under your micronation, basically, then he's saying that if you have that custom number, you can use that to get a rental. Get a pen, get an HD camera. This actually is an HD camera. This is a 4K camera. Got jokes and shit. It's your goddamn Master Chief helmet on. Fuck Master Chief. How you like that, motherfucker? They probably have copies of ebook form of Black's Law Dictionary you can download your phone or tablet. Absolutely. They got all kinds of stuff online, man. Renting a car is a commercial transaction. You're in the jurisdiction. That's what I said, man. So if you renting a car, it's commerce, and they regulate commerce. So if you're traveling in a car you rented, and guess what? You driving, because that's commerce, because you're paying for that motherfucker. Feel me? That's what it is. Damn, I'm down to go to the law library. Hey, man. I'm out here in Maryland, bro. I think where you in I forgot where you at. You're not too far away from here. Are you Jersey, right? Yeah, you had to take a hike down here, man. Be like a road trip or something. Last minute solution to travel. How quick do you think you can buy a car, get a title, and put yourself in a trust if you're in a rush? It sounds like you on the move and shit. That's a tough one, man. Like you want to rush processes, man. I really can't say. I don't do the quick thing. I do the thorough, doing it correctly. I can't say how much it would take, how long it would be quickly. World passport. I heard that joint was expensive. Actually, I think the world passport is like maybe like $200 or something. It's not cheap, but I mean, I would rather get the card and the passport. You feel me? I'd rather get both of them joints. You feel? So I can keep them on me. Get a DOT license plate to have and rent a car. He's talking about the department. The DOT. That's another way to do it. Check on Bad Wolf's videos, and he actually has a way you can get the Department of Transportation license plate. Yeah, he was saying if you're not ready for right to travel, you can actually do that. That's interesting though, because I started to look into it, but I got passed on to something else, so I didn't really get a chance to get in there and really figure it out. All right, look, I'm gonna drop the link. I'm a little late doing it. I'm 2 hours in. I'm gonna drop the link in the comment section here. And anybody who wants to jump in on the live stream can do so. There it is right there. Boom. There you go. Oh boy, but yeah, that's what it is. So yes, in terms of renting a car, it's being said here in this chat that you can actually do that. But yeah, Jimmy says your streaming supposed at 720, fix it to 1080. You got to get the professional. I think like you got to pay for it or something. Maybe I'll do that at some point. Maybe I'll buy the upgraded version because I think the upgraded version also has other little trinkets and stuff. I might be able to do an intro and all that cool stuff too, which would be dope because that would improve the quality of the stream. So I'll probably end up doing that. Absolutely, invest, man, invest. Anything to give you guys a quality show. Also, everybody, please hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it. And if you do want to donate anything to the Cash App, don't have to, but I greatly appreciate it. It's there in the description. It doesn't have to be a fixed amount. Anything you want to give is cool. Doesn't matter. Jimmy says, trust me, a year into this, and I'm aware I'm just starting to put the paperwork in. Yeah. Yes, sir. But yeah, that is the link. If anybody wants to jump in and get on the live, dispel any information, ask any questions, or put anything out there, any experiences you guys might have had. You know, have you noticed anything interesting using the passport? I've noticed that most places with the exemption status, because you know it says in the it was the IRS code, the ones who have to pay taxes basically are the U.S. citizens, pretty much. So with that said, I've noticed that some places with the sales taxes, they'll actually log in the number. And when they log in the number, they'll actually, when you come back and you present the passport, that number will be in. So the taxes pretty much get thrown completely out. All right, MacBone, I see you in the green room, but you got to turn your camera on. Yeah, you go turn the camera on. What's up, bro? What's going on?
Can you see it, bro?
Bad Wolf also. We got a packed house here. Bad Wolf and MacBone here. What's good with y'all, man?
Hey man, I'm just chilling, man. I'm in the living room at a house in Dallas, man. They got the game on. You know what I'm saying?
I see you in the green room. Cowboys winning. You got to turn your camera on. Cowboys
I'm not really interested. I'm not really interested in football, man, because they playing too many mind manipulation of the sacred ball game and everything according to Abraham Thomas.
Yeah,
so some of the Olmec Black Jaguar clan descendant, man. You know, they really put too much sacred ball game. That's why I stopped being so interested in basketball, football. I'm into like high dimensional stuff. You know, I was on a live with Abraham Thomas, and I explained to him, man, that the mystery schools is an interdimensional time.
I can barely hear you. Your signal's
I explained to many people. Okay, hold on a second, because I got myself on a mobile hotspot because they got the TV on.
Oh,
and
okay.
Dude up there in and out, man. And yeah, they got the TV on, but I do my best. But like I was saying, man, if you're gonna do this sovereign thing, you gotta understand what sovereignty starts from. It starts from within yourself. You know, the self-knowledge, the self-accountability, and the self-mastery. That's where it starts. Then you learn certain things like how to defend yourself. You learn the legal language and the legal culture, going to the law library. There's a process and a science to this. And I explained to some of these people, man, that when you try to do that Moorish thing, you become a citizen of the city of Morocco, which is another white man's country. So you're still under the white man's jurisdiction. Like I explained to these brothers, man, my Native American ancestors, Choctaw, never wore fezzes at all. And see, there's a way you can become sovereign according to the Articles of Confederation and constitutional law. You just got to do the research and the digging and the hard time grinding to get to that point. It ain't gonna happen overnight.
Absolutely.
And even when you get to that point, they're still gonna mess with you.
Yep.
Because, like I put a comment in the chat, if they totally upheld the constitutional law, they would not make any large sums of money.
Yep.
That's why they train their officers to be drones about that stuff.
Yep.
To be non-thinking drones and not even think about asking questions. Not do much thinking at all.
100%.
I mean, because police officers are not police officers are not paid to think. They're paid to be drone enforcing machines of the law. Period.
Agreed. Yeah.
Because the way they do their traffic stops is like an assembly line on conveyor belt at the manufacturing factory. They got to keep that conveyor belt moving. If they don't, they won't make that quota. If they don't make that quota, they won't get promoted.
Facts. William F. says, don't say sovereign citizen. You can't be a sovereign slave. Well, the only sovereign citizens are the police officers and the politicians and stuff. Because they are sovereign slaves, because they get away with a lot of bullshit, but they're still slaves at the end of the day. Oh, Bad Wolf, you got 2 cents on that, man?
Oh man, can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, wasn't sure. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I can hear you.
first, okay, cool. First of all, thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it. So, as always, A6, Magbone, appreciate you over there. To everybody out there in the audience, appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit that bell, like, subscribe to my
Hey,
man
what's up, Bad
A6
Wolf?
over there.
Yeah, subscribe to Bad Wolf's channel too, man. I'm pretty sure most of the people out in here watching already have. Go subscribe if you want.
Yeah, definitely. Tell your friends about A6. Let's get those numbers up so we can help spread the word and the movement here. Yeah, I mean, as far as I mean, there were so many questions to get at here, but I mean, as far as the sovereign citizen, yeah, I mean, sovereign means you're ruling, and then citizen means that you're a slave. So you can't really be both, because you can't serve one jurisdiction and be tried by another. Okay, but you can be a person of authority
Fact.
within a particular citizen state. So even the people over us, if you want to say that, like your police officers and whatever else, there's people above them who are actually pulling the strings. So if anybody was going to be sovereign, it would be them. So they're just straight up slaves, and they want us to buy what's known as alter ego, which is where you merge the two. You're merging the dead with the living, the public with the private, and the American national with the U.S. citizen, and it's like lowest common denominator being the U.S. citizen side. And so when you embrace that, you're by assumption pulled into that jurisdiction, even though you have the other side, because you've never rebutted it. So if you don't rebut their advances, I mean, I hate to be crude, but it's kind of like the girl in the club. If she doesn't rebut your advances, you're thinking you're getting somewhere. We can contract now. We can see what's up. You haven't told me no, so what's up? What's good with it? So that's the whole thing. Is so like Mac Bone was saying, yeah, you have to start by knowing yourself. Know who and what you are. And when it comes to like your own nation, I mean, when you're forming your own micronation, to get back at that one, you're looking at the fact that your real name, okay, is not your legal name. That's your business name, okay? Your real name is your first name and what they call your middle name. That's it. That's your name. Your last name is your nation. It's your tribe. It's your pack. It's what, it's your nation. It'd be like John James, and his last name was like Smith. So it's of the family Smith, of the tribe Smith, of the clan Smith. So if you have to know where you're operating from, because you've got your state constitution, you got Washington, D.C.'s constitution, which they're trying to put over all of us, or all of the U.S. citizens. And then you have the Constitution of the United States of America. So there's at least 3 right there. Yep. So if you're not operating from one of those, then you better be operating from yours. Okay, because the law states that if you do not create your own state, then we will assume you're operating from ours. So they're not going to have no ship out there without a flag on it. And that's how they look at you if you're not claiming yourself properly, as a ship without a flag. If you go to the beach and you find a yacht with nobody's name on it and no registration number, aren't you going to claim it? Hell yeah, I would claim $1 million yacht if it was sitting there. And that's what they're looking at you at, because each one of us are worth $1 million bare minimum to them. Yep. So hell yeah, it's about the money, player. I would claim each and every one of y'all too if I could make $1 million.
Yeah, my man Mac Bones said the Clintons are the Borgias of the 20th and 21st century. Absolutely. Yeah, Cesare Borgia and his dad.
Hey, let me break that down to you for a minute too, because I am a native from Little Rock, Arkansas. And the thing about the Clintons, Bill Clinton is a Rockefeller, a member of the Rockefeller family. on the along like the cousin branch of it. So the Rockefellers run Arkansas. They've been running ever since they founded the state in 1825. Because there's also been when Clinton was a governor with the Rockefeller, I think the third or fourth was a lieutenant governor at that time. But they've been like packing bodies ever since Bill Clinton was Attorney General before he became governor.
Yeah, my
And,
people are from Arkansas, so I'm
that's
already
what-
knowing.
That's crazy. I
Yes,
believe that 100%.
and that's the
He got
thing.
so many
That's the thing about
connections,
Clinton, man. He has a biracial child.
Mm-hmm.
I heard about
Yeah,
that.
he had an affair
I
with this news reporter Pamela Mathis back in the day,
Yeah.
That's
and that biracial child looks exactly like him.
Yeah, I saw that. The kid's like, how old is he now? Like 13 or something? Older than that, right?
But he should be in his 20s by now.
Yeah.
20s? Damn.
Yeah, he should be in his 20s by now.
That's
But
interesting.
Pamela Mathis, the famous news reporter at Channel 7, was one of his Negroid dead wench paramours.
So he liked
And that's the thing. Yeah, Super Slide did a video called "Why the D State Won't Fall," and he up there had a list of people that disappeared that tried to mess with the Clinton family over the years.
Sheesh.
Some of them were Arkansas State troopers. Yes.
Sheesh.
One of them died of a traffic accident where his body was wrapped around a street sign.
Sheesh.
Yeah. That's why the Clintons are the Borgias of the 20th and 21st century. I mean, I think Bill Clinton is a reincarnation of Cesare Borgia.
A reincarnation. That's
Because when I saw that Showtime show on the Borgias, Cesare was so slick with his political game that even his dad, Pope Alexander VI, was scared of him.
Yeah. They actually had one that was on Netflix too, I think, right?
No, it's on Showtime.
They had one on Netflix. I can't remember what it was called. But yeah, they actually had one also on Netflix. There's a different one. The guy who played
it was probably
the chief of no, not the chief. He was like the one below the chief on the wire, the white dude, the bald head white dude that was over top of McNulty. They would always, he actually played the father of she's a Borgia. I'm brain dead right now, but the father of Caesar Borgia.
Oh, you're talking about Rodrigo Borgia, aka Pope Alexander VI.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, right. He was his dad, but yeah, he actually played him. And then the whole thing was crazy. The dude had hella girls. He supposed to be a pope. This dude was banging nuns, like girls from all over the village. It was crazy.
He even had an affair with a lady duchess of high-ranking society. And when they had the Christian's wedding, the mama couldn't come because she was known to be a whore when they first met in the Catalans in Spain. But he was able to have his paramour, the lady duchess, sit right by his side. Yeah, and Cesare was mad about that.
Damn.
But see, these Borgias were the first crime family, the first mafia in Italy. And guess what? They were not Italian. They were Spaniards from the Catalans in Spain.
100%.
Which is pretty ironically interesting.
All right, then you said Bill Clinton's been crooked since he was Attorney General of the state of Arkansas. Yeah.
So that shows you, that the thing about the mafia, that goes all the way back to the Vatican, because that's where it came from, starting with the Borgias.
Absolutely. All right, my man John Mello says Dred Scott versus Sanford, 60 U.S. The state citizen is immune from any and all government attacks and procedures absent. Fire. Fire. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I mean, that. I mean, that's what Slide talked about. In order to get reparations, you got to change your status from citizen to sovereign, because when you're a citizen, you're a property enslaved of the state. You're still a slave.
Absolutely.
So that's what the 13th or 14th Amendment were all about in the Constitution. It was transferring the state of ownership from private chattel slavery to corporate chattel slavery.
Yep.
Because your corporate number is your social security number.
Your slave number.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the slave number according to the IMF. the International Monetary Federation, which is in Switzerland.
That's the ends legion.
They, you know, like Sly talked about. Yeah. That's what Sly said. You are traded on the International Stock Exchange in Switzerland through that Social Security number and that stock number that starts with FM in red on the back of your Social Security card.
Yep. Boom.
Everything under federal jurisdiction has a number, a serialized number on it, categorized, boxed, and locked.
Right.
That's what it is. And so if you're in their state, okay, then you're literally in their box, and they can do with you as they choose fit because you have agreed to be there.
Facts.
You know, maybe you didn't understand or you didn't know, but yeah, that's the whole thing. You allow jurisdiction to be claimed over you. So until you change that status or rebut their assumptions.
A6 and Bad Wolf, you remember that movie Killing Me Softly starring Brad Pitt? You remember what he said to that dude at the end of the movie? He said America is not a country, it's a business. That means you're on your own. So since America is a business, fucking pay me. Yeah, dude was on that bullcrap, man, and Brad Pitt had to set him straight. You know what I'm saying? Talking about what the real deal about America is all about, because the federal government is a corporate entity, an international corporate entity, due to the Rothschilds, because the Federal Reserves is an international money manufacturing mint.
Straight up.
Yeah, you're a product of a company.
Yeah.
You know, they're the manufacturers, and we're the product. They issue us a straw man, which is your public transmitting utility, your nom de guerre, which means war name. Okay. So your war name is your public transmitting utility. Okay. That's a product. They issued you that product. That product is the 14th Amendment citizenship. It has that status, not you. You are utilizing it. And when you utilize it, you are saying by alter ego that it's me, which then once again, lowest common denominator brings you into their jurisdiction. Because you're admitting that you're using that all caps name, which is the 14th Amendment U.S. citizen.
Yep.
Other than that, they don't have anything on you. You've never, think about it, you've never signed the birth certificate. Okay?
Yep. So
you never made an agreement. The master record of live birth, which had your baby feet print on it, where's that?
That's history.
That was your real first, I guess, private contract that they then gave you a birth certificate, which is the opposite, okay, which made you the chattel or the property of the 14th Amendment. So they issued you a document saying, hey, we recognize you as a 14th Amendment. Here's this nom de guerre, your war name, but it is the 14th Amendment citizen, not you. But when you utilize that material in order to interface with their dead world, you are alter egoing, you are merging your living self with that dead entity. See, incorporation or corporation corp is Latin for body. Ation is to animate. So you're animating a dead body. So you're putting your energy into this dead system, which they need us, the living, in order to fuel, because nothing in their world makes money. Okay, if you want to call it money, there's no energy there. It's all a dead world. That's why they use black for their words and their letters, because that represents the dead blood of the entity. Okay, so you are animating. When you animate it, you are alter ego merging the living with the dead and giving a little bit of your living life. So you become dead a little bit, and that dead thing becomes alive a little bit, and now you're navigating as one, which pulls you into being a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen. But you, the living person, you're not. You're not that being. And other countries might be a little bit different because we've got something unique going on here, you know, where we've got this overlapping federal private territory, Washington, D.C. jurisdiction thing going on. But that's the whole thing. So when you operate from your own state, one state cannot rule another state unless by agreement or contract. Like what I do here in my own state there's nothing they can say about it. You take care of yours, I'll take care of mine. And unless I agree or contract, you got nothing.
Right. Precisely. Which is how it should be.
Because that you're a sovereign, you're beyond contract. since you're a sovereign, they can now put you under contract because you're not a citizen, you're a sovereign.
All right, so this is,
unless by agreement.
John Mello says, look up the organic
And
article.
you never made it in the agreement.
John Mello says, look up the organic Article 13 that states no title of nobility. This is where the bars started to take over America.
Yeah. So the original, okay, so the way the story goes is that nobody from the bar or foreign was ever supposed to be able to get into Congress or any position like they are now. They were never supposed to. But what happened, the short version of what happened was they were putting that into law, but that's when the war broke out. And it just happened to be, and I just did a video on this, that 13th Amendment was destroyed.
What?
And when the war broke out at the same time when they were putting this into law. So the original 13th, if I have this correct, was lost. Okay, so when they basically redid the 13th, they're like, well, we're just going to ignore that, and we're going to move forward. But the thing was is that had already passed. Okay, so it is law, but the problem is that all the people in law now don't recognize the original 13th because there's no master copies of it. But other states out there in their law libraries actually do have the original 13th, where it says that nobody who's foreign or from the bar shall be in Congress or any part of the government. But how can it's hard to take them to that because they're going to say, well, that was ratified, it was changed, and they
right.
You know, but yeah, it already was passed and they already have that in place. But getting your hands on the original Article 13th, amendment, good luck with that.
Hey, Bad, well, let me ask you a question. What does the BAR, the bar, stand for?
British Accredited Registry.
So that goes back to the family of Windsor that runs England, which
Yep.
also runs the Bank of England and the Bank of America.
Yep, and they're also under the jurisdiction of
the Bank of America is a
UCC.
subsidiary of the Bank of England.
Yeah,
right. UCC, they run that.
And the UCC is owned and operated by Unidroit, which parent company is the Vatican.
Yep. I was telling people that the Vatican owns
and they also own the BBC, the British Broadcasting Company in Great Britain.
Boom.
Yeah, the Queen actually, when she goes to the Vatican, she actually loses all of her power. She actually has to bow and kiss the ring of the Pope when she's there.
The Pope.
Yeah, and the Vatican actually gives them another high-ranking individual for England to take, because in case the Pope decides to keep her, there's actually nothing they can really do other than try to go to war with them. But because the Vatican has them by the gonads, they don't want that smoke. So that's why they give them somebody to trade in case they decide to keep the Queen, because there's nothing much they can do. The Vatican can destroy their whole system with a snap of the fingers and say, no, you're done. Your banking abilities are all done. You got nothing here.
100%.
So they keep a cordial business arrangement, as we'll say.
Checks and balances. Let me ask you a question, Bad Wolf. What do you think is underneath the Vatican? That all that mileage of archives and stuff that's down there.
Oh, man, I was just talking to somebody about this, and this is my specialty. Man, they have all of the most ancient manuscripts that they stole from the pyramids, Egypt. They've got now this might be a little out there for some people, but they've even admitted that they have skeletons and bodies of various saints and even beings down there, and technologies. I forgot what they call it, but they admitted that they had it's called the coronavisor, where they've got a device that allows them to peer into the past.
What?
And yeah, this one was hard for me to believe in fact too. But it's called the coronavisor. You guys can look it up, and it's a device.
So it's sort of like a time portal oscillator, right?
Yeah. It allowed them apparently to look back into the past, to actually look in to see what Jesus looked like, is what they actually did.
Wow.
And they didn't it's from what I understand, there was things that if you seen what they seen, it would challenge certain things of today. So though they have it, they apparently said that they no longer use it. But yeah, look up the coronavirus and the Vatican, and yeah, so they got all kind of goodies down there. I'm not even going to go into all the really good stuff they got in their own little jurisdiction. But let's just
I'd
say,
be willing to bet you they have
That's
that
the thing about
that golden cap from the
coronavirus.
pyramid down there too. I'd be willing to bet you they got that down there.
what's
Yes.
that?
The golden cap from the pyramid.
Probably
You know,
do.
that pyramid of Giza had a
Oh
golden
yeah. The original golden
Yeah,
capstone.
golden capstone.
There actually
Yes.
were two capstones on the pyramids. One was out of solid gold, and the other one was a crystal. And the one that was a crystal was the original one back when and this might be a little deep for some people, but the Atlanteans, also known as the Hybiru or the Apiru back in those days, or the Sea People, and the magnetic.
That's where the Dehudi comes in, because he's from Atlantis. The Thoth,
Right.
he's from there.
Yeah, also
He's
known
the one
as
that established the
Hermes,
mystery
Enoch.
schools in.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when the pyramids they're like
Laid down the
capacity.
foundation of mental alchemy.
Yeah. And when the pyramids would charge up, the crystal on top would actually light up. That's where they got that original light from the top of the pyramid, is that it would shine in all directions. So the pyramids were actually multi-use machines.
Yeah.
I won't go.
Pyramids used to power the whole city.
What's that?
The pyramids used to power the whole city. There's an underground fixture,
Mm-hmm.
and they said it's shaped just like a computer chip. How everything's
Yeah.
shaped. Yeah.
Yeah, and see that's kind of like where Tesla got some of his information and knowledge from, is that the pyramids themselves, they used to generate wireless electricity over the lands, okay? And supposedly that's one of the reasons why the Pharaoh chased Moses and them, is because when they took the power source, which was supposed to be the Ark of the Covenant, which just happens to fit inside of that coffin inside of the pyramid, or so they call it, a coffin. And so when he took that, all of their power source, their devices weren't working, because he took the power source that helped to power the pyramid. Now the pyramid made its own power, but this was like the battery, like you've got a capacitor and then you've got a battery. Okay, so that you need all those things to make it do what it does. But the pyramids did things like wireless energy. It purified water, because if you think about it, where was their pure water source? The Nile is brackish water; it's salt water. So the pyramid actually used to purify water. It used to give off energy for wireless devices, and so a lot of people don't know that kind of stuff, because nobody reads these old files and stuff. And like you said, Enoch, Tehute, Thoth, Hermes Trismegistus. These are all the same people going around the world spreading knowledge.
Yeah, Thoth was an Atlantean too.
Yeah, Thoth was an Atlantean. He built the pyramids. He talks about it in the book of Enoch. He talks about, I built the halls of Amente.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did say that. yeah, that dude Thoth was a beast.
Yeah, he was. And if you read read that, he talks about how his spaceship, he built an actual flying spaceship, and it's under the pyramids. He's talked about.
That was supposed to be Earth's natural defense, correct? And only somebody who's pure of heart can actually access it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a defense mechanism for the Earth.
Yeah, under the pyramids, there's a huge maze and library under there, which contains the history of Atlantis in there on the golden tablets. But ever since they found Osiris's watershed under the pyramids, like 10 years ago, we ain't heard no more information on what they found underneath there, because they had those 200-foot down shafts, and it led to Osiris's chamber with the underground obelisks, and his chamber in water, and there was 2 other paths that led off, and they're like, oh, we'll bring you news coverage on those channels. I've been waiting for 15 years. They ain't ever said nothing. They got to make sure they get all of that stuff out of there before they let us know.
They said under one of the cities, there was a long hallway, and it was like an energy source at the end of it. And they were saying the closer you got, the more it felt like you were going to die. So they had to bring in a high priest to actually, he did something to calm the energy or something.
Yeah.
And Paramount was supposed to be teaming up with the Egyptians or something like that to film the opening of the underground city, because there was a whole city that was underneath there. So There was
Yeah.
a disagreement between Paramount over money and the city, whereas Paramount decided they didn't want anything to do with it. And then they went ahead and just looked underneath, and they were saying it's like a vast city under the pyramids and all that stuff. So a whole city. And this goes back to what I was saying about the pyramids actually being a conduit for energy. One of the jobs was to conduit energy into the village itself. So they were using,
Yeah.
natural energy sources. And if you really think about it, bro, this whole thing with the 5G, the 6G, the broken wide screen thing, you know what I'm talking about, and everything, it's all synthetic versions of what was used in the past out of natural things. This is why I can't work. Like the Luciferian experiment was something that they say was done on Mars, quote unquote. So they were saying that the reason why there's traces of radiation energy on Mars is because there was a nuclear war of some sort in the past. And the
Yeah.
reason they see faces and stuff like that on Mars is because it was a civilization that actually destroyed itself pretty much.
The two books I would suggest for you, A6, if you haven't read these, and for your listeners, if you like this kind of information, one of the books you're going to want to get is it's called A Dweller on Two Planets. I don't want to give everything away, but basically it's about a guy who has memories of being an Atlantean in like I think he lived here in the United States about 100 years ago, maybe almost 150. And he talks about his past life, and he talks about things, advanced technologies and everything along that way. And then the other one is what is it? Atlantis, the Enigma, has information about the pyramids and things on that. So those are two. And Atlantis, the Enigma, is by Herbie Brennan, is the author of that one, and it covers a lot of this information where these people should not have known the information that they were writing about in their books. And what made it real for me is that when you research the devices they're talking about, they weren't invented when these authors were alive. Like the one guy in the Dweller on Two Planets talks about when I was an Atlantean, I went down to what we would call South America, and he starts talking about how I had a device and he named it, but it was an Atlantean. But he goes, it looks like a silver snake with fins all over its body. He's like, and he goes, it drew air into it and made water. Well, that would be like a humidifier.
Right,
you know,
right.
you know what I mean? And I looked it up. Humidifiers weren't even a concept back when he wrote this book, and this guy had no formal college education.
Wow.
And remember this, there was no humidifiers when he made this, when he was talking about this device. And then he talks about how in Atlantis, which was in not the exact center of Atlantis, but it's actually today, you can still see it. It's called the Eye of the Sahara. Okay. And if you look at the Eye of the Sahara in Africa, everywhere where it's sand there used to be ocean.
Yeah.
That's where sand comes from, is the silt at the bottom of the ocean that is now exposed and dried out over hundreds or thousands of years. Okay. So if you look up Eye of the Sahara on Google, that was Atlantis. And if you look at the water, if you look at the sand around it, the topographical area, you can see that water swept over that eye and poured into the Atlantic Ocean. And that's why the people talk about Atlantis was washed away in one day and one night and was underwater, because it got swept out into the ocean. You can see the marks on there. But anyway, yeah, so if you guys want some fascinating readings, get A Dweller on Two Planets. I think his name is Philo. And then the other one is Herbie Brennan, The Atlantis Enigma. And trust me, those two books changed a lot about how I look at the ancient stuff, because there's no way these guys should have known these things. The technology they're talking about wasn't in existence. It's straight up fire.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I'm definitely taking notes of that. That's crazy.
If you read those books and you're not fascinated, I can't help you, because I don't excite easily, and those books are fire. Facts.
Okay. Word. All right, so we got more comments in the comment section. Hold on. All right, so it was printed in 1815, but it wasn't the same, and it changes if you look at the original from the States. He's talking about the other code. Hold on, let me catch up more current. He says water runs under the pyramids. Believe that 100%. Like the amount of things that are under the surface of what we walk on daily, I think would blow most people's minds. Like completely. There's a underground here in Baltimore, actually, down in I think it's down near, I want to say not Patterson Park, but I think it's down near what is that? Lincoln Park. There's a place called Lincoln Park down here in Maryland. It's very notorious for bodies being found all down there, or whatever, in the 80s and the early 90s. There's a lot of crime mafia bosses would drop bodies off down there. But there's an area around not too far from the area you drive through where there's actually underground, some kind of base of some sort. It's like it's made of concrete and it's a large entry. And there's like a long hallway and it's just like a maze of different areas. And it was completely, there's nothing in it. And I'm like, who the fuck built this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if this had a purpose, like for governmental uses or something like that, it would be restricted first off, and you wouldn't be able to access it. But it was completely empty, and it was made of like concrete. Like, you know, it was put there maybe years and years and years ago. You know, it just got me to thinking, like, what the hell is this? You know, maybe it connects to something else that you might have to get further down into. But it was very interesting because I never heard about it, and nobody in Baltimore ever talked about it. But there's so many underground fixtures that are in place that people don't even know they're walking on top of. There's a guy who actually he actually started, I think he wanted to knock out his wall in his basement or something like that for some reason. And he actually discovered a giant tunnel behind like the basement of his house. It was a long tunnel. This guy was like, what? You know what I mean? So like you just never know what stuff is around it. So in the green room, we got my man Tony Cooper, the long awaited. What's up, Tony?
Yo, it's good, bro.
There it is,
Yo, what y'all talking about? Did y'all see a video on YouTube like 3 years ago? There was a kid, I don't know, he sent a remote control car in there and it seen some dude come out of a cave. They took that video off. I even saved it and I couldn't find that shit.
Damn.
Some dude threatened the government and said, I'm going to tell everybody. I don't know what happened to that kid. They roasted that kid. There was a guy that had a robe on that came out of a door and you just see mad light and electricity. He sent this little remote control car with a camera. It went down a long hallway that Bad Wolf was talking about. I showed my girl, they cut that video and he said, you have 24 hours, United States of America government to contact me. I think they got his ass. Never seen or heard from him again.
You best believe they.
I see. You seen it though, Bad Wolf, right?
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. That dude, a black dude, walked out with a robe. It was purple and gold robe. That remote control car caught all that electrical energy, and all you see was the remote car flip. And that was it.
So hold on, the dude had energy around him.
Like yeah, yo,
Goku type shit.
You know how they open? All right, you know how they open doors all over the place? Yeah. That motherfucker came through a door, yo, and that looked like that's an entrance to like the go anywhere. Damn. The way he came through that door was mad electricity and lights. They're not telling you. It's more to it in that motherfucker in them pyramids that they're not letting you fully go through there. They're only letting you go through the outskirts. You go deep down in there, you're gonna find some shit, and you might not make it back.
Oh, you ain't coming out.
Running your mouth. They don't want you running your mouth. Why you think
they look, you can ask any question you want, and we're gonna tell you the truth. But the drawback is you're not leaving.
Yeah, basically. What do you think? I'm surprised they let Bird when he went in that hole to go see what was going on. They let his ass come back. That's crazy, yo. All right, remember the story of the dude that flew into the that General Bird that flew into the
Bird, yeah.
Come on, man. Why did they let him back? Why did they let him back out? That's weird.
He was on a talk show talking about that shit too.
Yeah, come on. That's weird, yo.
That was unusual.
What did they do to him? What did they do to him for him to come back? What you got, man? Because I remember what's that short dude Noriega? They found a chip in his ass, in his head.
Damn.
Yeah, you come on, man. They show this shit. They take a lot of this shit off of this YouTube. Before YouTube was YouTube, motherfuckers was putting up mad information. Word. Now you can't find shit. It's all like, what the hell is this, yo? Yeah,
kind of like some of my old information before they shut down my channel.
You must be on mute, yo. We can't hear you. Are you trying to say something?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I see your mouth moving. I didn't know if you. Yeah, okay. But yeah, that's
Oh,
ill. That's ill.
you get that Instagram I showed you, right?
Which one, yo? Yeah, the medical
Yeah,
joint.
the recent. No, the recent one, yo. Since we did that last show.
Hold on, let me look.
You did that last show. I hit you on the Instagram and showed you. All of a
I probably
sudden,
did. I probably saw. Hold on. I just be.
all of a sudden we supposed to be
Yeah,
nobles
yeah,
now,
yeah,
holding
yeah,
secrets.
yeah.
I don't remember knocking on a red door with a triangle and saying I want to come home. I never said I wanted to be a Mason, so I don't give a shit about secrets.
Word.
Just facts. I do know about how to become a Mason. You knock on the door. I'm not doing none of that. The 33 lessons. They
Hey,
get those lessons.
brothers on the panel, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now you can.
Yeah.
Okay, now let me go back to what you were saying about those books. Actually follows the Tibetan, who was actually a Tibetan warrior monk of Shambhala, by the way, had two books, A Dweller on Two Planets and The Earth Dwellers Return. Now, about that story, their Hootie was the celestial one. His first stop was Atlantis, but after that intergalactic war, which caused the Sahara Desert, because he established the order of Amun Ra, Amun the hidden science, Amun the hidden one, from which the occult studies come from. Now, there was a rebel element that rebelled against the orders of Amun Ra. They became known as the Luciferian Order. And it was that war that caused that Sahara Desert thing. So the thing is, one of those members of the order was Anubis. Today, his name is known as Lucifer.
Wasn't
But
the
his real
Sahara
name is
Desert?
as revealed
Wasn't
in that
the
movie, Drive Angry, starring Nicolas Cage.
But
They
wasn't the
accounted
Sahara
and
Desert
Satan
a
would go out
water?
to say and Drive Angry. His name is Anubis. That's his real name. He was kicked out. And now the thing is, Follows Tibetan was a Tibetan warrior monk of Shambhala. They're like an order of mystic warrior monks. And the thing about Admiral Byrd, the reason why they let him live because he was initiated into the Thule Society, which ran that installation there in Antarctica. They are the same ones that use Hitler as a puppet. The Thule Society goes back to these beings known as the Ashtar Command. They're from like the Proxian system, so to speak. So the thing about the Atlantis and Lemuria, those are two like power spots. You know, spots of mystical power.
So tell me something.
Like that place in California, East Island, that's where Lemuria used to be.
So question.
Okay, I've read about
same problem.
I got a question.
Yeah, that's
I
why
got a question.
they had the same problem.
Since we talking about all of that, all right, what's the difference between the poles? Because I heard they're lying about the North Pole and the South Pole. It's like the North is really the South, and the North. I'm hearing that it's like backwards. They're telling it backwards because if you go towards the magnetic attraction, they don't want you to go through that because some of us that got dark skin is going to draw power from it. That's what I heard. They don't want us to know that.
That's why they don't want you to go to Nubia, which is south of Egypt, because that's upper Egypt, not lower Egypt. Lower Egypt is where Egypt is, where the Arabs rule.
Because I heard the grounding is crazy out there. If you go out there and you do grounding, you're not gonna come back the same person.
You're gonna come back a more enlightened and a more powerful person.
Yeah.
You're gonna come back a God, so to speak, a celestial one.
Did you hear that? A lot of people with iron in their blood is now turning to copper.
Nah.
Yeah, due to the COVID virus.
Oh, hey, let me say something.
Yo, chill with that word. Chill with that word. They going after everybody with that word.
The video last week was cool.
Yo.
So please,
and I'm in New York.
Just be careful.
Hey, 6. I'm sorry, but my third eye is vibrating very, very powerful.
Yeah, I can tell.
I'm getting some interdimensional information to speak.
Yeah. What he said was carpet 18.
Yeah, basically.
So I'm getting this through interdimensional access.
Nah, because out here in New York, they coming. You mentioned that on here. That's a charge. They changed. These couple of days that passed out here in New York State, they passed the most craziest laws. These fools out here partying and ain't even paying attention. I was like, yo, son, don't call my phone about no party. You want to party? Don't call me when the world drops for you, dogs. I don't know you. Yo, you people's crazy, yo.
Well, the thing is, I am here in Texas, where it used to be an ancient area of the Olmec Black Jaguar clan, of which I'm a descendant. So The ancient black jaguar warrior priests were the guardians of the Time Lord. So I'm sort of like A. Winters Thomas's guardian, since the black jaguar is connected to me. That Black Panther stuff that they talk about is not African, it's Olmec. Period.
I figured that.
Because the Olmecs and Arawak Indians go through a certain man jaguar shapeshifting ritual. And when they became the Thundercats, that's how they were able to kick out the Draco reptilians out of South America.
Yeah.
You hear the roar of the jaguar, or as I say, Jaga, that's the Thundercat.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it back.
I don't want to know what y'all think about this. Hold on, yo. Carl says, what you think about the Afghan giant the military was fighting in the cave, and also the U.S. military went down a shaft that the scientists dug in Antarctica?
It's more than one giant. It's more than one giant. Half of them is waking up from hibernation. It's more than one giant, man. It's not.
Oh, you talking about the Yeti, right? The Shaggy from Orion, right? The Yeti, the Shaggy from Orion. They're all over the place.
They're talking
about Africa, Asia.
They're talking about the redheaded one that the military went after in Afghan in the cave.
A lot of them is by the pyramids too in Antarctica. That's why they don't want nobody over there.
There's an underground pyramid there.
Hey, brother, those are the guardians. Those are the guardians of that technology. Those are the guardians. Yes, they're the guardians.
So are they killing them, or are they getting busy with them, or what?
They only use violence when they need to.
There's different factions.
They guard in certain spots.
Yeah.
And it was the Olmecs. It was the Olmecs that built that, because Antarctica was part of the Olmec Empire. Because see, the Olmecs and the ancient Kemetic mystery schools are one and the same. Because that panther, that jaguar, that's Amun-Ra's totem.
Yeah, but a lot of the species didn't die.
The panther connects all those, because Bas and Sebna are the daughters of Amun-Ra.
The one that they killed in Afghan was a separate one, basically looked at as a rogue, where they knew he was there, but it was like he was on his own. He was doing his own thing, fucking up the local people here and there, eating what he need to, But the military went in there and they were like, hey, yeah, we're not having this anymore because we don't want people to catch wind of you. That's one of the reasons why they've been pew pew.
But they've been extracting the DNA.
They've been making, well, one, they're working with some of them that are alive, and two, they've been taking some of their genes and making, basically, it's going to sound corny, but they've been making Master Chiefs from Halo. They've been making actual large U.S. military giants out of them.
Damn.
The stem cells of the Yeti, right? The stem cells of the Yeti, coming from his bone marrow of the spinal cord, correct?
Well,
I've heard they actually had in the Grand Canyon. They've actually had bones of giants in certain areas of the Grand Canyon. You don't have access.
They're not letting you go through the Grand Canyon. That's how you get to Africa. You think they're gonna let you walk through there? They will shoot your ass if you make it. You ain't coming back. If everybody knew you can go to Africa, do you know how many people
powerful in the force to be able to go through those guys?
Say it again.
You got to be more powerful in the force, so to speak. Your mystical power has to be enormous.
To do what?
That's a lot of meditation. A lot of meditation and cleansing.
Yeah, you got at least do that for at least 40 days, 40 nights to be that powerful.
And you got to do that with your tribe. It's like
they're not.
The thing about it, my tribe is the Choctaw through the Olmecs. Right.
Yeah, so you know the science and the prayers and the meditation and that. A lot of these people don't know how deep that is.
No, I mean that was transmitted to me through dreams and visions, because there are times I would wake up in a cold sweat, and in the way I was shaking, I felt like I was about to transform into a man jaguar myself.
Man, let me tell you. First of all, they don't want you to know how powerful you are, because your soul is really possessing your body right now. Okay, your soul is a divine. Okay, so. Your soul, whether you guys want to believe in God or the universe,
is this small.
Is energy that is living, okay, and it is super powerful. And they don't want you to wake up and realize that you are a creator, okay. You can manifest multiple things you want to have happen. You can change your life overnight, just like that. By utilizing, instead of sitting there, I hope, I pray, I wish.
You don't pray. Yes. There's no such thing as praying. It's meditation, deep concentration, man. You have to
Right.
let go of some of the shit they taught you. They
Right.
coerce you to be a slave, not a god. That's what they took from
Right.
you.
Like it
A lot
said
of
in
people,
like I said, the Empire Strikes Back. Like Yoda said, you have to unlearn what you have learned.
Right.
that's why they made Star Wars. That was a joke to everybody. Everybody thought that shit was a joke. It's not a joke. And you can left hand absorbs and the right hand pushes out energy. And that shit is
That's
true.
a
It's not a
form
lie.
of hoodoo,
Yeah.
Chai Chi.
Yeah, it's not a
I mean,
lie. It's
in Canada
facts.
they call it hoodoo, but
Yeah.
in China they call it Tai Chi.
Yeah, it should be here in a minute.
Yes.
Word. All right. So he
Yeah,
says the
yeah, yeah.
giants are Nephilim, sons
The
of the
thing is,
fallen.
you are the
All
living
right.
pyramid because your third eye, your pineal gland
Yeah.
is your capstone, and the solar plexus is your inner sanctum of the pyramid.
That's why a lot of people thyroids is bugging out because you have a pineal gland behind there. They be trying to
Yes.
give me thyroid medicine. I don't take it because I'm like, why y'all trying to destroy my crystals in the back of my throat? They like,
Well,
what
that's what the
you?
fluoride does to the
I've been
in
stopped
water.
using that. I've been stopped doing
Yeah.
fluoride free toothpaste, no mouthwash. You gotta
Yeah,
stop all that.
everybody who watching, switch to that Hello Charcoal toothpaste. Switch to
Oh,
that.
I
The black
order. You can
toothpaste.
order that online. They send you
Yes,
a
sir.
box.
It's real hard to clean up because it, like when you brushing it, the little black pieces get everywhere. But dude, it gets your mouth much cleaner. Your teeth get brighter, and it's got no fluoride. If you get
And
the
be
fluoride free.
mindful when you go get your teeth whitened because that's what they put on them caps. That's what they put on there, deep fluoride on you.
If you have any teeth surgery done, your cavities or whatever, ask for the white filling, which is better and doesn't have the mercury and derivatives like the amalgamated. That's one. Two, stay away from the aluminum in most of y'all deodorants because that will mess up your nervous system and your thought processes as well and keep you subservient and dull minded.
Yep.
Also,
That's
another big
facts.
thing I can tell
We
you
stopped
is
using that deodorant.
the
The
word
aluminum do to you.
sucralose.
It fucks your thinking up.
Oh, sucralose, right?
A lot of people think sucralose is sugar. No, the sugar is sucrose, but sucralose, which is only different by the letter A in those two words, but they own the word sucralose, which they put in all of your drinks. Yeah, my buddy, there it is.
That's that
Yep,
shit
that
right there. It got
bioactive.
the silver.
Yep, bioactive. That's it right there. So let me tell you what happens when
Oh
you.
yeah, it is
when you-
in the air too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they're dropping those particles over us with the chemtrails. That's what that's on there too. So you're breathing it in, and it's polluting your temple. Now, let me tell you this: I'm not going to say that I have perfectly done the whole 40 days and 40 nights, but let me tell you this: one day while I was awake,
show it on your skin.
I accessed my pineal gland, and let me tell you, that was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to explain, but all I can say is that like you have perfect clarity. You can see through like it might sound weird to some, but like time, space. You can think of like a math question, like 8,052.17 times 49,312, and your brain goes, here's the exact answer.
That's amazing. Yeah, for
And
me, I was actually able
because
to
you had
see
access to your higher
other
self.
parts. I was able to like see
Right.
other parts, like what people are doing and shit. And I had the conversation with them the next day, and I'll be like, "Yo, you were doing this, this, and this."
Yep.
I'm like, yo, how did you do that? I was
You
like, "I
have.
saw you."
Remember the movies
It's
are
like a
put there
ride.
because
It's like a
anything
ride.
that they do, they have to put out in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's part of the covenant between the light and the
have to
dark. Is
show
that
you.
in order for the dark to do it, there
That's
has
why
to
they
be an
told
open
Steven
covenant
Spielberg to
where they show
chill.
you. Well, not only that, but I also heard that Spielberg and Gene Roddenberry created Star Trek. Used to sit in on the conversations with the government about the alien information. So everything that they were doing, they put into their movies to show us because they have to put it out in front of us, and then they put it to you in the form of a joke or in the form of a movie.
like the commercial we watched earlier with Alec Baldwin. So how do y'all feel about Space Odyssey 2001 and Stanley Kubrick?
Oh man,
That's weird.
that's
That was an odd movie, wasn't it?
A lot of gems in
Y'all
that
didn't see
movie.
the Matrix? Y'all didn't see the new
yeah.
Matrix?
Oh, I didn't see it yet.
Yo, I'm already thinking about getting out of New York because that looked like New York, man. You are not getting out, Neo.
Word.
You're staying here. And I'm in New York, so I'm not feeling that. I was like, yo, why they rushed it, but it's for information for us. They're telling us what's going to happen to us. Everybody that took the jab, Neo and that little crew was the ones that didn't take the jab.
Niggas that didn't take that shit. How about when they was on a train and the niggas with the masks was the ones trying to beat their ass? Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was
you
crazy.
You ain't catch
man.
that when they was on the train and everybody that had the mask was trying to kick their asses and shit. Everybody was going with masks on. I was like, whoa.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. They basically showed us what's going to start happening.
Crazy, yo.
In January. People up here already quit jobs.
Every time Neo touched Trinity, the power of love override it all.
Well, what did Morpheus say? If you're not one of us, you're one of them. Yep. Those people are so helpless and so dependent on the system that they're willing to fight us to protect their very existence.
Yep.
And that system is just very intimate.
I still question it because remember
what happened?
I've been off of SSI since 2019. I ain't never go back.
They are putting people in a position where it's easier and cool and right for them to bother and fight amongst ourselves versus to wake up and realize that it's the GOV that's doing all this to them. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the whole thing.
Yep.
That in itself.
That's
literally people out there going, oh, well, if you didn't get the jab, you're a sociopath and you're just looking out for yourself. And wait a minute, what happens?
Nah, they acting. They doing weirdos
natural immunity. Okay, so here's the thing: if the jab is nothing but the actual virus in a chemical laden fluid that dumbs it down so that you can inject it into your body is still what actually takes that dying or weakened virus and then makes antibodies against it. So it's your body doing the work.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so if you get it naturally, how is that any different? So it's your body doing the work.
Yep.
Right? Okay,
body's still doing the work.
It's just a matter of
I'm living proof of that.
Injection,
Bad Wolf.
Or
I'm living proof of that. I ain't take no injections the whole time, man. And I had a kidney since 2018. I ain't take no shots or none of that. And I ain't give them no blood to kidney center. They're like, give us some of your blood. I'm kind of shook because it's 8% of B positive blood on this earth. And I'm one of them. So I'm kind of shook of that.
They're actually looking for the new blood type, the U blood type. It's going to be among mostly melanated folks. They're looking for that U blood type.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
They keep running tests on me because they're wondering why I look more healthier now. They didn't give me no vitamin, taking vitamins on my own. And they're like, why you so happy? What you been doing different? And then, when I was going in, they taking like 8 to 10, 16 vials. And I'm like, you only need one vial. My mom's a registered nurse. She said, no, y'all could do 1,000,000 tests off of one vial. Why I always got to give 10, 16 vials? Then when I'm in the hospital, they'll hold me for 2 days. Every hour and a half, they'll come get 32 vials of blood. Like they was giving my blood to somebody. They was tapping. I got up out of there. When they gave me the kidney, I got it there 4 days. They said, you can, no. I said, no. You're going to take this catheter out of my private part because I don't need it. This is crazy.
You know why they want they want that blood is because there's many different factions who like the genetic material in there so they can
put it to you like this, Bad Wolf. The whole hospital knows me, Bad Wolf. That's crazy.
Yeah, because that means your blood is fire. So yeah, so is mine. They like my what is it? Positive. O positive. Yeah, they can't get enough of me.
You can go with any blood type.
Yeah, and because
they'll hold you and talk about you got a
problem. And because of all the supplements, Oramus and whatever else I take, they've been like, we give your blood out, so many people. We've helped thousands of people over the years because I donate. You know what I mean? And they're like, people have been healing faster and this and that.
Somebody wants to take a trip to the Grand Canyon.
They're letting your ass go there.
Got some news to tell you.
You better make that last trip on your deathbed because you ain't coming back, bro. Marvin G, I love you, bro, but I can't take that trip right now, bro.
Nah, I ain't taking either. Since they yelled COVID, I've been ordering my pills. And I'm trying
y'all gotta watch your mouth.
Carpet 18. Carpet 18.
Language. You can't say the C word, man.
Yeah, but yo, the whole
that's the
time when I
thing
was
about
on
the
it,
new
they was
stuff
trying to.
that they use.
I couldn't get
The new
Section
stuff
8.
that they use
Now
on
they want
top
to
of
give me Section 8. I ain't
Mhm.
contract with none of this shit. They trying to get food stamps. I get anonymous emails. I even get calls. Oh, why you don't need it, Mr. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want nothing from y'all because I think
Bro,
they know
I
what I had
get
to send my. I had to send my birth certificate back again, Bad Wolf. They try to play me. They was like, I said, yo, this time I put in there Rule 220. What are you talking about? Now
yeah.
they don't do it. I'm gonna have to push on them because they know what's going on out here. I'm not getting caught up in that because I did
I
already a lot of processes.
I mean,
yeah.
sometimes you got Obi-Wan Kenobi on, where you living in the system, but you're not yet living in the system. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when Senator Palpatine issued Order 66 to kill the Jedi, Obi-Wan Kenobi, man, took a chill pill off the wing to watch what the crowd Luke Skywalker.
Right now, I'm moving like Luke.
Keith says A6.
Luke
I'm
with
out
the
the
cut off
system.
hand right now.
What you mean by
I'm the
that, Lamar?
Luke
You gotta
dressed in
break that
black
down,
with the
Keith.
cut off hand.
Yo,
Right.
Keith says I'm out the system A6. And I'm saying, what do you mean by that? You gotta elaborate on that. Iodine regulates the thyroid. Got that from the wolf.
Yeah, iodine is fire.
Oh,
If you guys don't know
iodine.
about iodine, I suggest you Google iodine and benefits.
Yeah, I bought 3 bottles of that when you yelled that, and I put it in
Man,
storage for safekeeping.
iodine will get your body right. It actually prevents you from radiation too. So if there was ever a nuclear fallout, you pop some iodine, and that'll protect your thyroid and your glands from
But
absorbing radiation.
I'm letting y'all know now, inflation is coming to y'all. I had a storage for like 3 years. I was paying like what, 4 and some change. Now I'm paying $5.50 a month. It's going crazy. They going in right now for 2 green peppers. I'm paying $9.99. I'm talking
Damn.
about for the organic, starting with 9. I ain't complaining because if I could smoke weed, yo, I could buy food, so I don't really care. It's not affecting me. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all, if y'all were hustlers,
You know
you were
what,
living as a
Bad Wolf
sovereign. Just to
and
let you
Tony and
know.
A6, there was a young man that asked me about how to deal with the situation, right? And I told him these 3 things. It's all about your energy, your consciousness, and your intent. And it's about how you respond to it.
So
You
Mac
too
Bone,
about
I'm
how
doing
you
good then.
apprehend it and respond to it.
So I'm doing
And by
good, Mac
you
Bone.
learning how to go through a holistic journey of strengthening your soul, mind, and body,
Yeah, suck it, cut.
because the thing about it, happiness is mastering the inner journey of your soul power.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Look, we
mastering
got an
the
echo in the
inward
back.
journey of
I
your
don't know
soul
where
power.
that's
That's what
coming from.
happiness is all about.
We got an echo in the back.
Happiness is
Somebody.
a blessed state where you are beyond the pleasure and suffering of this dimension.
Oh, can y'all hear me?
Nah, that's my
Oh,
phone. I was at
Oh,
my girl
yeah.
here because I got
Okay.
this on.
okay.
The able to the mic in my ear.
Okay.
My bad. All right, go ahead.
So,
Continue what you're saying,
you
man.
know, the thing with me, I started learning the occult stuff through studying the 7 principles of mental alchemy back in '91, but also in '96, I got initiated to my Native American medicine with my mama's people, the Choctaw. And then after that, I did it as well. I received the Native American name, Seven Moons Epic, medicine name, Peaceful Warrior. And then I realized that Peaceful Warrior refers to the Jedi Knights in Star Wars, to the Shambhala, Tibetan warrior monks of Shambhala, to the Shaolin, and to the Wudang, the Taoist monks. So I realized that not only we got physical battles to deal with, we also got interdimensional battles to deal with. Like Dr. Strange, like he said, we're not warriors, we're protectors. We protect certain interdimensional realities through the
Yeah.
nexus. And that nexus is the soul within you, the solar plexus. That solar plexus is your first brain, not your second brain. Your second brain is up here.
Right.
That's why they
Right.
try to
What's
poison
your
you all
gut?
these foods and substances and toxins, man, to mess up your gut. Because that's where your first thinking comes from.
Yeah.
You know,
So if a person's gut is always hurting, what does that mean?
that means you need to do some cleansing. That means it's time to do some inward cleansing. That's where the veganism comes in, the 7-day vegan challenge per month, uh, the meditation and the meditation and some yoga, tai chi, and qigong.
Yeah, because my
I
girl,
practice a certain after meditation that was formed in a horse stance. Now the one that taught me that, he can hold it for about an hour or two. I'm still like repeating myself to weather hold it for 3 minutes.
Damn.
Why did
Yeah.
you collapse the trust? Why did you collapse the
Because
trust?
he
That
collapsed
means how you
because he
gonna
can't
move through
trust.
the matrix then? Since you collapsed the trust, how you gonna move through the matrix?
Well, like I said, it's all about your energy, your consciousness, and your intent. Those 3 things. That's the foundation tripod of the occult science. And this is what I learned from my experience, not books, in dealing with the past. That's why when I did like an in-depth study of Taoism and Zen Buddhism and the Native American medicine wheel. And when
I
I
got
got
those books.
initiated into it, when I got initiated to the sweat lodge in the dark, the lights of the pamphlet was turned on before I realized it, you know. And there was one old cat from Louisiana named Hawker Man said I also got a tiger energy as well. But since I'm a Leo, born August the 15th, 1969, even though I'm 52, I don't look it. I still look like I'm in my 30s. I remember one time this landscape came to my sister's house, and this dude thought that she had said to my sister Diane, I said, "Is that your son?" I said, "No, that's my younger brother."
Damn.
That ain't my son, that's my younger brother.
Man, that's what's
That
up.
dude thought I was like a 34-year-old old man, but I'm 52. So I'm living proof that the path works. That the
Absolutely.
path works.
You got enacted. I mean, me personally, I kind of like to eat live things. So like if you grow your own food and you pick
Right.
it right out of the garden, wash it, and then eat it, it's still alive.
Yeah.
When you put live things in your body, you're absorbing live
Yeah.
nutrients as opposed to dead things.
Absorbing the prana from the solar energy from Amun Ra himself.
Mhm.
Because Amun Ra is not only the hit, he's the sun. And see, 2024, that's when the solar apocalypse is supposed to happen. That those there who are awakened, solar plexus wise, pineal gland wise, will survive that. Those that don't, they're gonna become the walking dead. You know.
Yeah.
I closed my circle. I stopped spreading it. Just I keep it tight. Just me, my daughter, and my girl. And we just go
Right.
through our trials against our little emotions against each other. I tell them to control it, and we study the same stuff. I teach them about this. They
All right,
already
so
got
Keith Lamont says, "I
some
own the
knowledge on
estate
their
on
own. You know?
surety." He's
That's
saying he
good.
owns the estate basically. He collapsed the trust. All right,
Not only does he got the bankers,
I taught my
EIN.
nieces and nephews. Okay, go ahead. I taught my nieces and nephews the principles of mental transmutation from the Kabbalion and Ancient Future, those 2 books. I also teach the principles of Taoism and Zen Buddhism that I've learned over the years because I've also taken whatever as Kung Fu over the years as well to understand Taoism and Zen Buddhism, which they call Chan
So you a
Buddhism and
teacher?
the Shaolin Temple. It's actually Zen. Yeah. I taught my nieces and nephews a few things that my younger brother and older sisters can teach them. Yeah.
All right. So politically incorrect says, speaking of out of the system after status correction and copyright and trademark of name, could you not send notice to any and all agencies to remove you or pay for the use of your name? Yeah, you could always do that, I suppose. But that's what I tell a lot of people that UCC, one of them properly, can do all that.
Yep.
As long as you connect to the right people, it'd be all good.
6F.
Absolutely.
That's
Yes,
what he
sir.
did.
So we're going around the stretch, man. We almost creeping up on 3 hours. So I mean, we can do any last statements now, any last questions, and then we can wrap this bad boy up.
Well, I'll just wrap this up with a few things. The vibration of your flow determines the quality of your glow. The quality of your vibe determines your tribe, and the quality of your mind, the vibration of your mindset determines the quality of your reality. I'll just leave it at that.
Nice.
Strong words, Macbone.
Absolutely.
I use that wisely. I know what you mean by that too. I use that wisely. You speaking in another language, but I appreciate that. He's speaking from here. You gotta look at it more than what he said it was.
Yep. I'm gonna stick with something basic, man. Leave the world in a better place than you found it. That's simple.
Hey, amen to
Yeah,
that.
that camera's
Amen
good
to
you
that.
got too, because you was clear, A6.
Oh,
I
thanks,
don't know
man. I
what
just
camera
got
you
this joint.
using. You was clear, man.
Thank you, sir.
You
Yeah, I
a
gotta get
waffle
the updated
dude, yo.
version so
That's
I
what I
can get that
call light
1080.
skinned dudes, waffles.
He said waffle.
That's what I call light skinned.
Yeah.
Hey,
My girl the same
A6,
complexion,
you
man. We
notice that
jumping with her
picture
too.
of the lion I got in the back?
I can
That's me.
barely
I'm a
see it.
Leo.
Yeah.
Leo, and then
Oh, you a
Leo's standing
Leo?
to the sun god.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, welcome to the age of Aquarius. I'm Aquarius. Next month's my birthday.
Hey, that's all good, man. Yeah.
That
Age of
What's
word.
up?
Aquarius, man, releasing the water so you can drink it. Drink it in that deep knowledge.
Yeah, but
You
you
know, that's why I
the sun
explained to
god. You the sun
that's why I
god
explained
though.
to the young brother. I ain't trying to change your religion philosophy. I'm just giving you some water to drink. It's up to you whether you're going to drink it or not. I can't drink it for you.
Mm.
Simple
They
as
gotta
that.
build the boat. They gotta build the boat or cleanse the water on their own. They don't know how to boil it. That's all them.
Yeah.
That's simple.
It's up to them on how they're going to learn how to use that water that you give.
They don't know about the elements though. Each element has a difference. It's like the wind, fire, earth. They don't know about that yet. That's a different study.
Oh, you talking about the five elements of the soul, the
Yeah.
fire, air, earth, and water?
Yeah.
Those
They
are the
ain't
five
master that yet.
initiations that you have to be initiated to before you become a celestial one in the ancient mystery schools. Yeah, the
Yeah.
five
That's
elements.
in
And
order to
there's
get
like
that for you gotta
one guardian
balance
for everything.
everything. That's the hard part to
Yeah,
get to that though, balancing everything.
Yes,
Certain
it
things
is.
you
that's
gotta
right.
let
I
go.
Balance
talk
is
about
all.
balance all the time
Certain
on this
things you
channel.
gotta let go. Like you don't acknowledge no more when you're in that type of wavelength. It's crazy. I
Right.
don't know. That's
Agreed.
the
So
part
look,
everybody gotta learn. Let go.
we could talk about this for hours and hours, but I'm gonna wrap. We gotta wrap this up, bro, because I'm tired. So
I got you.
Yo, when you doing another show? When y'all doing
so
another live?
it'll,
Sometimes
it'll
you and
be
Bad Wolf be playing around. Y'all throw a live on Tuesday and be like, hey y'all.
yo. The only reason I do that is if I got too much stuff to do on the Sunday night. You know what I mean? But I try to
Wait,
do
hey
Sundays.
y'all.
Yeah.
Cut it out, A6. What you trying to
Hey,
make a
you need to
baby
do
right
Super Slide
now?
75 in
Hell
this
no,
because
you
he would
crazy.
enjoy this.
Say it again.
I
He
know
would
you ain't
enjoy
trying to.
this.
Huh?
Yeah. Super Slide 75, we need to get on the next one, man, because he would enjoy
Yeah.
this.
Absolutely.
He
Hell
has a
yeah.
lot to bring to this
That dude,
discussion.
he's got some information too. But all right.
Yes.
So thank you guys for tuning in, man. Thank you so much, Tony, Mac, Bad Wolf. Please subscribe to Bad Wolf's channel. I'm not sure if you do any lives, but if you do, please go
Nah, he be
subscribe
throwing
to
mad videos. He'll
Wolf's
do
channel here.
back to back to back to back like he got a
Boom.
case
Yeah, he be
full.
getting busy. He be getting busy. Absolutely. Go subscribe to my man.
Yeah,
He got
he's
good
one of those.
information
He's
here.
like
Hey, I
ridiculousness
like that
Rob.
video you had with that cop, man. You really put that cop in his place with the logic and the knowledge, man.
Yeah.
You know,
You
because
talking about
that dude violated the constitutional law at
Oh no,
least three times.
that wasn't even me though. That was a guy just stumbled across on
Oh,
the internet.
God? Okay, I got you.
Yeah, that wasn't me. Nah, that wasn't me. But nah, he did his thing though. He did his thing.
Yeah, because
Yeah, they
that
do have
dude violated
channels.
constitutional law at least
Tony
three
doesn't do
times.
live streams.
Hmm.
Bad
I'm
Wolf
in New
does.
York. I can't
I
do
do.
that, man. I just jump
Absolutely.
on here because I learned off of them.
Word.
I just read a lot.
Hey, man, I'm too deep to have a YouTube channel right now because with what the stuff I was saying, I have 4 YouTube accounts and YouTube flagged and permanently banned 2 of them. So, you know,
Damn.
Yeah,
now,
because you talking knowledge.
because
They don't want no
if I have a
truth.
YouTube channel, I'm going to hurt a lot of mofos' feelings. Real talk. That's why I call
Word.
Massive Dynamics Butthurt Dynamics.
Yeah, I see y'all later.
All right, then, brother. I'm going to sign off, man, and peace out to you. Peace out to you, Bad Wolf. Good to meet you, all right?
All
Let's
right, you
do
too,
this
brother.
again, okay?
Peace
All
out.
right, you
All
got
right.
it for sure.
All right.
All right. There you have it, guys. Appreciate you guys reaching out to me. Definitely make sure you guys hit that bell, like, subscribe for A6. Tell your friends. And don't forget to hit this man's Cash App. All right. I see like at least 35, 40 of y'all in there. He should have at least 35, 40 likes on there. So support the man. I'm out. And you guys travel safe, stay healthy, stay aware, stay woke, and happy holidays. I'll catch you later. A6, thanks for having me on your spot. When I do mine, you know, I'm gonna plug you and hit you up. So you guys take care. Peace out.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. It's the Foreign National Born Natural 86, live and direct, live in effect. Great show today. We had some geniuses on this bad boy dropping knowledge. And we will be coming at you live, God permits, next Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to chop this fable some more. Thank you for tuning in.